Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Universal Card Drawing. Full-level lucky value at the beginning. Chapter 21. The Tianqing Magic Card Store is roughly divided into two parts, one is the cashier area, and the other is the hall where the magic cards are displayed. After entering, Lin Huan discovered that the showroom was much larger than when he saw it from the outside. But compared to the vast exhibition hall, there seemed to be only dozens of magic cards on display. There are not many customers in the store, maybe because of the time. There are only a few customers in the store now, but there are a few waiters standing around. So even though there weren't many customers, the store didn't feel empty. Lin Huan didn't have the slightest interest in the rare magic cards around him. Now, he no longer likes rare magic cards. He walked to the center of the exhibition hall. There is a rectangular display cabinet here. There are only a dozen magic cards placed on it, but the Tianqing Magic Card Shop decorates these dozen magic cards in a very luxurious and solemn way. Because these dozen magic cards all exude a faint blue light. It wasn't until he saw the hero magic card that Lin Huan became interested. He came here today to sell cards, but what he wanted to sell was an epic magic card. Most people would not sell magic cards of this level, so there is no relevant information on Taoka.com. Observing the quality and corresponding prices of these hero-level magic cards will be helpful for reference, so that he can quote a price when he sells the cards later. While Lin Huan was observing the mochas, a man and a woman walked in. The girl was wearing a white dress and the boy had green hair. As soon as he entered the door, the green-haired man waved his hand, held his head high, and said in a very arrogant tone, "Xingxin, pick whatever magic card you like." "Achin, I knew you were the best to me." When the girl in the white dress heard this, she suddenly looked happy and snuggled into his arms. Hearing this, the customers in the store glanced at them. Not because they look like just high school students. But the phrase, "pick whatever you want." But seeing their overly young faces, they all shook their heads. At this age, even if you have a fortune, you can still buy a rare card. The so-called picking randomly is just to show off in front of girls. Just as the woman in the white dress was running towards those rare magic cards, the green-haired man grabbed her and said, "Hey, the rare magic cards are all rubbish. There's nothing interesting to see. Just go to the heroic level. As long as you have a look whatever's on it, buy whatever you want." "Achin, you are so kind." The girl in the white dress, who was called Xingxin, looked at him more and more tenderly, as if honey was about to flow out. This conversation attracted the attention of the few customers in the store. Not because of their actions, but because of the words of the green-haired man. "Are all rare magic cards garbage? Can I just buy the hero level?" What a loud tone. You know, in this era of rampant monsters, what is the most valuable? Magic card. According to the average price in the Federation, a rare magic card, regardless of its attributes or type, is worth at least 100,000 alliance coins. For an ordinary person, 100,000 alliance coins is enough for a family of 3 for 10 years. A hero-level magic card costs at least 1 million alliance coins. The magic cards in Tianqing Magic Card Store are naturally high quality. Generally speaking, the prices sold here are about 10% higher than the prices on the market. At least it's 1.1 million alliance coins. This money is enough for an ordinary family to last a lifetime. The customers who can come to the magic card shop to make purchases are naturally card magicians. They are either combatants on the front line against the invasion of monsters, or they are government personnel holding some positions in the Federation. But they all have to save for a long time before they can buy a rare card. You still have to choose carefully. For hero-level magic cards, that is something that is beyond even the slightest thought. They originally thought that the green-haired man was just taking the girl to buy a rare card. When they suddenly heard him say, "buy whatever you want," they were secretly speechless. $1 million at a time, what kind of family is this? They all secretly looked at the green-haired man, unable to imagine which family he belonged to. Tianmeng City can easily take out 1 million people, which is just a handful. Feeling all kinds of strange eyes focused on him, the green-haired man's expression became more and more complacent. The two of them came to the area where the hero-level magic cards were located. The woman in the white dress was a little excited. This was the first time she had seen so many heroic magic cards. With just one glance, she spotted a magic card. It was a subordinate card. On the image on the front of the magic card was an extremely cute kitten. Just when she was about to step forward and take a closer look, she realized that there was a boy who looked the same age as him standing in front of the magic card. The woman in the white dress felt tense. Isn't this person also interested in this magic card? But soon, she felt relaxed. Because she noticed that the clothes this man was wearing were quite ordinary, even rustic. Only people from the outer cities wear such rustic clothes. Could a commoner from an outer city still want to buy a hero-level magic card? Think about it in your dreams. After she thought she had guessed Lin Huan's identity, the woman in the white dress had no worries. Hey, you, that's right, it's just you. If you can't afford a hero-level magic card, don't stand in the way. She shouted to Lin Huan. Hearing the sound, Lin Huan turned his head in confusion. Are you talking about me? You're still a high school student, right? Learn from that student outside. If you can't afford it, you should stand outside and watch instead of running in and hindering others. The girl in the white dress crossed her arms and said condescendingly. The girl in the white skirt is obviously about the same age as Lin Huan, but she speaks like Lin Huan's elder. Hearing this, Lin Huan frowned immediately. He just saw a heroic magic card placed on it, and he was estimating the price of the two epic cards in his hand, and he was a little lost for a moment. If the girl in the white skirt didn't have this tone, Lin Huan wouldn't mind giving in. After all, this place is very big. But now, you know I can't afford it. Lin Huan raised his eyebrows and said calmly. Seeing his calm expression, the woman in the white dress felt a sudden change in her heart. Something's wrong. If you are from an outer city, you will subconsciously have an inferiority complex when you see people from the inner city, especially young students. Does this person really have the money to buy a hero-level magic card? Just when her face was uncertain, the green-haired man walked up. He looked at Lin Huan's face, which was very strange. There is only a small group of people in the upper echelons of Tianmeng City. Although they are not necessarily familiar with each other, they have all met each other. The person in front of me is definitely not the group of people at the top of Tianmeng City. Thinking of this, he said with some ecstasy, Tianxing Magic Card Store treats its customers so well that all kinds of cats and dogs can come in. Waiter, hurry up and send him away. He waved to the waiter standing by, pointed at Lin Huan and said, this guy can't even afford an ordinary magic card, let him go. As a waiter at the Tianxing Magic Card Store, the first thing to do is to remember the powerful guests of Tianmeng City. He knew this green-haired young man, Zhang Chen, the son of the chairman of Zhang Group. This is a powerful person among the powerful people in Tianmeng City and cannot be offended. So he walked up to Lin Huan, bowed slightly, and said respectfully, this guest, although our magic card is indeed displayed to all guests, if you hinder other guests' consumption, I can only ask you're out. It looked like the waiter and the man and woman had become a team. Lin Huan didn't bother with them. He didn't say anything and turned around and walked towards the cashier. Although he was not sure, he had a rough idea of the prices of his two epic cards. But in the eyes of Zhang Chen and the girl in the white skirt, Lin Huan's behavior was more like a clown who had his true face exposed and could only leave in embarrassment. For such people, Zhang Chen and the others did not catch up and ridicule them. As a top figure in Tianmeng City, speaking more than 2 words to a commoner in the outer city would be a loss. As soon as Lin Huan left, the girl in the white dress grabbed the coffin cat slave card and looked at the pattern on it, her eyes filled with joy. Ah Chen, this slave looks great, I want this. Well, waiter, please introduce this magic card to me. Just when the waiter was about to step forward to introduce him, Zhang Chen interrupted forcefully. No need, since you like Xingxin, just buy it. Chen, you are so kind to me. Taking this magic card, Zhang Chen walked towards the cashier with the girl in the white dress. At the checkout counter, there was a familiar figure standing there. It's Lin Huan. Zhang Chen was a little surprised when he saw this picture. When he came to the checkout counter, he said to Lin Huan, you haven't left yet. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, and said with some clarity, I understand, you want to stay here for a while so you can show off to your classmates, right? As if he thought he had guessed it right, he hummed slightly proudly. At your age, I advise you to focus all your attention on your studies, so that you won't be able to draw even the rarest level during the card drawing ceremony. You can rely on this knowledge to choose more positions in the future. The girl in the white dress on the side also echoed, yes, high school students should study hard and stop thinking about useless things. Glancing at the two people singing together, Lin Huan didn't want to say a word to them. These two people are so narcissistic. He said to the waiter at the cashier, may I ask, does your store accept cards? The cashier counter is very large, but there are two people inside, one is a cashier, and the other is a bony old man who is carefully polishing a delicate pipe. Hearing this, the old man didn't even raise his head, still wiping his pipe carelessly, and just said something lightly. Our Tianxing magic card store does not accept garbage. Although he has been polishing his pipe here, as the manager of Tianxing magic card store, he is naturally concerned about what just happened. He has been a store manager for more than 30 years, and his eyes have become cloudy. But I've never missed anyone. Even if this young man from the outer city has a good character, he will definitely not have any magic cards that interest him. Breaking the Sky. It is also a rare magic card. But as the manager of Tianxing magic card store, what kind of magic card has he not seen before? Unless it's a hero-level magic card, it's all garbage. Needless to say, what kind of magic card can a poor student from an outer city have? It should have been drawn from today's magic card activation ceremony, right? It's probably just a rare magic card. Maybe it's an ordinary magic card. I just want to try my luck at the Star Magic Card Shop. In front of the checkout counter, Zhang Chen had some disdain on his face and said in a positive tone to the girl in the white dress beside him. Hearing this, the girl in the white skirt didn't think much and quickly responded. Ordinary rare levels are garbage, but what about epic levels? Lin Huan's faint voice sounded, and it appeared at the same time. 2. Epic magic cards emitting a faint purple light. The old man, who was cleaning his pipe leisurely, suddenly froze when he saw two epic magic cards suddenly appearing. The somewhat taut eyelids were instantly opened by the eyes, which were full of disbelief. Zhang Chen and the girl in the white dress had disdainful expressions on their faces, and their eyes widened when they saw these two epic magic cards. It was like seeing a ghost. Hey, do you want to collect the epic magic cards? Seeing the frozen old man, Lin Huan reminded them. Take it, of course we will take it. The old man came back to his senses, trotted over, and stretched out his hand to grab these two epic magic cards. But he missed the mark. Seeing Lin Huan's warning look, the old man smiled sarcastically. Sorry, I'm too impatient. When trading magic cards, because the binding of magic cards is too simple, in order to prevent buyers from binding magic cards without giving money, they always give money first and then touch the magic cards. Kid, can you introduce these two magic cards to me? The first magic card. Just when Lin Huan was introducing the magic card, the girl in the white dress looked at Lin Huan and said stutteringly. Ah Chen, he is not a rare or ordinary junk card, he is an epic card. Upon hearing this, Zhang Chen's face instantly turned as black as the bottom of a pot. He didn't dare to look at the girl in the white dress next to him, but looked at Lin Huan with some surprise in his heart. Even though he is the son of the chairman of the Zhang group, the epic magic card does not just come out. This time he was able to go to the Star Magic Card store to buy cards because he drew an epic magic card during the magic card activation ceremony. So his father was happy and gave him 2 million alliance coins as a reward. As a result, the person in front of me actually cast 2 epic magic cards. Is he really more arrogant than me? After hearing all the attributes of these 2 magic cards, the old man couldn't suppress the smile in his eyes. An epic subordinate card and an epic skill card. Judging from the attributes, they are all rare products. Looking at Lin Huan's overly young face, he asked curiously, can I ask, how did you get these 2 magic cards? Good luck, I pulled it out. Lin Huan said flatly. Hearing this, Zhang Chen sneered in his heart. Lucky. His father bought a total of 50 card packs for him, and then he pulled out an epic magic card. Drawing an epic magic card from 50 sets is already an incredible amount of luck. If nothing else happens, he will draw an epic card this year and will definitely be the star of today's Montreal. However, a pervert appeared in the third one and drew a legendary card. It overshadowed all his limelight. Watching Lin Huan hand 2 epic magic cards to the old man, Zhang Chen was determined in his heart. This man must be a nouveau riche. The real upper-class people like them in Tianmeng City, who have reached the level of epic cards, all know that the value of an epic magic card cannot simply be measured in alliance coins. An epic card can be sold for more than 10 million alliance coins, but 10 million alliance coins can never buy an epic card. There is only one kind of person. That's the kind of nouveau riche in front of us. You will only see money and immediate benefits, and will not notice the long-term benefits that an epic card can bring at all. A good epic card is very likely to create a powerful platinum diamond level card magician. One person can suppress a secret realm. This kind of upstart cannot see how much benefit such a strong person can bring. After checking the 2 epic magic cards, the old man handed them back to Lin Huan. After pondering for a moment, the old man opened his mouth and said, "I'll give you 30 million for this subordinate epic card, and 16 million for the skill epic card. This price is the most reasonable no matter where it is placed. What do you think, my little friend?" Generally speaking, the price of an epic magic card is around 10 million. But there are differences between epic magic cards. In terms of price alone, the general situation is subordinate cards, equipment cards and skill cards. Of course, this is not absolute. There are some high-quality magic cards that will break this situation. For example, this Cold Wind Broken Soul, a damaging skill card, is definitely more expensive than an ordinary equipment magic card. But one thing is basically undisputed, that is, subordinate cards are generally the most valuable magic cards. A total of 46 million. This price is a bit higher than Lin Huan expected. He nodded. The old man took out a registration form. "My friend, it's like this. Even in our Tianxing magic card store, the cash of 46 million alliance coins cannot be taken immediately. It takes 3 days to turn over, so please fill out this form so we can contact you." Nodding, Lin Huan took the registration form, filled it out and handed it back to the old man. Looking at Lin Huan, on the watch, the old man was thoughtful. It was as if he had heard this name somewhere before, as if he had just heard it today. Seems to be. Wait a moment. Suddenly, a discordant voice broke in. Interrupted the old man's thoughts. He looked up in confusion and saw Zhang Chen talking to Lin Huan. "My friend, you probably don't know how valuable epic cards are, right? If you are really short of money, you don't have to sell these 2 epic cards to the magic card shop. I bet with you. Let's play. If you win, I will buy your 2 magic cards for 3 times the price. If you lose, how about selling them to me for half the price?" When he said these words, Zhang Chen looked very confident. He dared to conclude that Lin Huan must be short of money. No matter whether Lin Huan is an ignorant upstart or a down-and-out powerful person. When I heard about the opportunity to triple the 46 million, I would not let it go. People who are rich or have been rich all have one thing in common, that is, they like to gamble. They all have blind confidence in themselves. Little friend, haven't we already agreed to sell the card to me? Moreover, this fight is a trap. This man's name is Zhang Chen, and he is the son of the chairman of Zhang Group. You will never be able to defeat him. Seeing Lin Huan's agitated look, the old man immediately became anxious. "Mr. Gu, we are free to trade here. According to the rules of your Tianxing magic card store, you cannot interfere with the transactions between customers, right?" Hearing this, the old man named Ji Yulao suddenly choked. This is indeed the rule of their Tianxing magic card store. The only hope now is that Lin Huan refuses his proposal. I agreed. Hearing Lin Huan's words, the corners of Zhang Chen's mouth slowly raised. Okay, you are brave. You are worthy of being able to draw 2 epic magic cards. Zhang Chen praised Lin Huan without hesitation. Anyway, soon, his 2 epic magic cards were his own. If his father knew that he only spent less than 30 million to get 2 epic magic cards, he would definitely reward himself well. He said to the old man, "Mr. Gu, don't you have a special venue here? For 100,000 alliance coins, we can stay here. Oh, come with me." Seeing Lin Huan agreeing to a fight, the old man shook his head, sighed, and then led him towards the back. Walking at the back, looking at the expressions on the faces of Zhang Chen and the girl in the white skirt, Lin Huan also had a smile in his eyes. Lin Huan could see through Zhang Chen's thoughts at a glance. Want to trick my epic magic card? In this case, I will satisfy you. I just don't know who tricked whom in the end. With a smile on his face, Lin Huan followed them to a large venue. There was a large arena in the middle of the venue, and Lin Huan looked around with interest. This place was specially designed for card magicians to fight. This was the first time he had seen such a place. It looks unremarkable, just an ordinary arena. Okay, you go up. Hearing this, Lin Huan and Zhang Chen walked onto the ring together, each standing on one side. The old man took out a magic card emitting blue light from his arms and threw it in the air. Suddenly, the magic card turned into a blue light, flew into the sky, and then exploded silently, turning into a light blue light shield that enveloped the entire venue. You can start anytime, the old man shouted to them. Seeing that what the old man took out was a hero-level magic card, the girl in the white dress on the side was secretly speechless. This man named Mr. Gu is such a generous person. With such a large defense range, the rarity of this hero-level magic card is definitely much higher than that of ordinary hero-level magic cards. She approached with some curiosity. Mr. Gu, tell me, who among them will win this battle? Glancing at her, a hint of sarcasm flashed in the old man's eyes. Don't you have any idea who will win? Ignoring the blushing face of the girl in the white dress, he looked towards the field. A woman who relies on the son of the Zhang group is not worthy of answering questions like the manager of the Tianxing magic card store. His status in Tianmeng City is not as high as the chairman of Zhang group, but it is not comparable to that of a mere rich second generation and his girlfriend. But as for the result of this battle, he was very unfavorable to Lin Huan. Although he doesn't know Lin Huan, he knows Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen, the only son of the chairman of Zhang group. As soon as he was born, he was loved by thousands of people. Magic cards, exercises, meditation methods, etc. are all the best among the best in Tianmeng City. Among his peers, it can be said to be unmatched. Especially since he drew an epic magic card during the magic card activation ceremony today, he is destined to be in a different world from ordinary people. Although the young man opposite had taken out 2 epic magic cards for sale, it seemed that he was at the end of his rope. Otherwise, he would not have sold the epic magic card or even agreed to this fight. This person will definitely not have any more high-quality magic cards. If he faced Zhang Chen, he would definitely lose, and it would be a crushing battle. When he thought of this, he felt a little regretful. Obviously you can get more than 40 million alliance coins by selling it to yourself, but you want to go to a fight, and when you can only get half of it later, some people cry. In the field, Zhang Chen looked at Lin Huan with a confident look on his face. He looked at Lin Huan proudly and said, "Don't blame me for bullying you, I'll let you take the first shot." As he spoke, he took out a magic card with a faint purple light emitting from it. Throwing it into the air, this magic card turned into a giant black wolf 3 meters high and 5 to 6 meters long. His red eyes were staring at Lin Huan, who was not far away. His fishy saliva slowly dripped to the ground. His eyes seemed to want to eat Lin Huan alive. For a rubbish opponent like Lin Huan, Zhang Chen didn't want to waste time with him. Wouldn't it be nice to defeat him early and get those 2 epic magic cards? However, this epic subordinate stood still and did not move. This is Zhang Chen's pride, he wants Lin Huan to make the first move. Seeing Zhang Chen take out his epic magic card as soon as he came on stage, the old man in the audience shook his head and murmured to himself. Chen used this epic magic card as soon as he started. It seems that the battle should be over in 5 seconds. This is not nonsense. An epic level slave can directly reach the highest star level of the master's level when summoned. In other words, this giant wolf's current strength is black iron 9 stars. Such a terrifying opponent, no matter how Lin Huan struggles, will be torn apart in an instant. On the stage, Lin Huan looked at the giant black wolf. Information about the giant wolf automatically appeared in his eyes. Subordinate name, Bloodthirsty Demonic Wolf. Attribute, Evil System, Warcraft System. Quality, Epic Level. Skills, Bloodthirsty Madness, Blood-Coated Demonic Claws. Introduction, even among Warcraft, they are extremely cruel. Most of them are violent and irritable. No matter where their prey runs, they will definitely chase them to death. In the arena, looking at the ferocious giant wolf, Lin Huan raised his eyebrows. Is this what he relies on? It's your turn, summon your subordinates. Zhang Chen crossed his arms and shouted towards Lin Huan, with a meaningless look on his face. No matter what subordinates Lin Huan comes up with, he has the confidence to crush them directly. As the son of the Zhang group, with an epic magic card in hand, he naturally has this confidence. With his eyes full of pride, Lin Huan shook his head. I don't need a subordinate card, just come here. Hearing this, Zhang Chen's eyes flashed with anger. Humans are inherently weaker than monsters due to their body structure. Except for some extreme card magicians, most card magicians only use skill cards and equipment cards to protect themselves. Therefore, in the battle between card magicians, subordinates are the absolute main force. Without the need for subordination, it is equivalent to asking the card magician to tie up his hands and fight. This is the most contemptuous behavior. Zhang Chen didn't expect that Lin Huan would dare to say that he didn't need a subordinate when faced with him and an epic subordinate. How arrogant! A flash of fierceness flashed in his eyes. He pointed at Lin Huan and said harshly. The bloodthirsty demon wolf, tear him to pieces. ... No, don't take his life. Upon hearing the owner's words, the huge wolf instantly turned into a black lightning, and in just a blink of an eye, it reached the top of Lin Huan's head. Resisting the urge to bite his head into pieces, the bloodthirsty demon wolf slapped Lin Huan's body with his claws. Compared with the bloodthirsty demon wolf, which is 3 meters tall and huge in size, Lin Huan's head is not as big as the demon wolf's claws. He looked like a lamb ready to be slaughtered. If this slap is real, it will definitely be a serious injury. Seeing Lin Huan standing there blankly, a trace of disdain flashed in the girl's eyes. It's really useless. Even the old man named Mr. Ji Yu saw Lin Huan standing there stunned, as if he was frightened by the bloodthirsty demon wolf, and a look of disappointment flashed in his eyes. Although he thought that Lin Huan would definitely lose. But he didn't expect that Lin Huan didn't even offer any resistance, and just gave up. Sure enough, do you think highly of him? Then, just when everyone thought that Lin Huan would be seriously injured by a slap from the bloodthirsty demon wolf, a cyan light shield suddenly appeared on Lin Huan's body, protecting his entire body. The cyan mask seemed to have only a very thin layer and was very small in size. It could only wrap around Lin Huan's whole body. Compared to the huge claws of the bloodthirsty demon wolf, the cyan mask was more like a toy ball, as if it could be ready at any time. Can be scratched. However, when the demon wolf's claws grabbed it, the cyan light shield did not cause the slightest ripple. Instead, the demon wolf's claws were bounced away. Seeing this scene, everyone rubbed their eyes. I thought I had seen it wrong. How can it be? The girl in the white dress screamed. She originally thought that the bloodthirsty demon wolf, an epic subordinate, could defeat Lin Huan with one attack. As a result, the bloodthirsty demon wolf actually missed. Compared to the yelling girl in the white dress, Mr. Ji Yu is much more knowledgeable. Being able to block the claws of the bloodthirsty demon wolf, the quality of this skill magic card must be of the same level. This Lin Huan actually has a third epic magic card in his hand. He hasn't even graduated from high school yet, but he actually has 3 epic magic cards in his hand, which is simply unbelievable. On the ring, the claws of the bloodthirsty demon wolf were bounced away. Its ferocious nature was immediately revealed, and it kept hitting the cyan light shield with its claws. However, no matter how sharp his claws are, no matter how powerful the wolf's claws are, it is difficult to shake this cyan light shield at all. There wasn't even a ripple on it. Seeing this incompetent and furious bloodthirsty demon wolf, Lin Huan stood in the cyan light shield and nodded slightly. This cyan mask was the result of using the skill card, Gift of the Storm Goddess, and its effect was even better than he thought. A mark of wind appeared on the back of his hand. At this moment, he could feel that he was as if he had become the darling of the wind, and that all the winds in the world were controlled by one hand. This cyan mask is just one of the changes in the form of the wind element. On the other side, Zhang Chen suddenly became a little angry when he saw that his bloodthirsty demon wolf was unable to attack the cyan light shield for a long time. Bloodthirsty demon wolf, don't hold back, use your full strength. Hearing this, the bloodthirsty demon wolf immediately took a step back, and then suddenly looked up to the sky and roared. The size of the bloodthirsty demon wolf was visible to the naked eye. The whole body became larger, with a height of at least 7 or 8 meters, and a length that reached a terrifying 10 meters. Just standing on the ring already occupies most of the space in the ring. The scarlet eyes became more bloodthirsty and cruel. The drool dripped out and left deep pits on the ground. So scary. Just standing in the audience, the girl in the white dress felt a huge pressure. She couldn't imagine that if she were Lin Huan, facing such a terrifying beast, she would be so scared that she would wet her pants on the spot. But then she became excited again. Such a terrifying subordinate must easily crush Lin Huan. Mr. Gu on the side also sighed and shook his head. Although Lin Huan has 3 epic cards, 2 of them are for sale and cannot be bound, while the third one can only be used for defense and has no attack means, even if it is a powerful skill card. Lost. On the stage, the bloodthirsty demon wolf grabbed again, grabbing at the cyan light mask surrounding Lin Huan. This time, the claws of the bloodthirsty demon wolf were different from before. It was white just a moment ago, but now it has turned scarlet. This is his skill, blood-coated devil's claw. The sharpness has been improved by more than 1 level compared to before. Before the claws arrived, cracks on the ground around Lin Huan were already broken by the sharp energy on the claws. Such power is simply appalling. However, what no one expected was that when the devil's claws fell on the cyan light mask, there was a scene of heavy thunder and small raindrops. It still hasn't shaken the cyan defense layer. Standing in the cyan light shield, Lin Huan looked at the bloodthirsty demon wolf, a look of impatience gradually flashed in his eyes. It's really troublesome, just end it. As he spoke, a green light lit up deep in his eyes. With a finger, an undetectable cyan cyclone appeared under the belly of the bloodthirsty demon wolf. In just the blink of an eye, this tiny cyan cyclone grew into a cyan tornado with a radius of about 1 meter. This size is insignificant compared to the size of the bloodthirsty demon wolf. But, a moment, the ferocious bloodthirsty demon wolf was swept up by the green tornado that shot straight up. It is like a toy, spinning constantly in the air at extremely fast speeds. The original bloodthirsty and ferocious look in his eyes disappeared, and only fear remained in his eyes. While he was frightened, he also let out a shrill wail, like a dying dog. The cyan hurricane pushed the bloodthirsty demon wolf higher and higher until it reached the light blue barrier. Under Mr. Gu's disbelieving gaze, the blue barrier changed from the original semicircle to a cone shape, and the corners became more and more pointed. Finally, the blue barrier exploded. The green tornado only raged in the ring for a few seconds. However, for the 3 people on the field except Lin Huan, it felt like they had spent a year. Everyone looked straight at the devastated sight. Some don't understand what's going on. Shouldn't the bloodthirsty demonic wolf that has gone berserk defeat Lin Huan with 1 blow? Where did this cyan tornado come from? The first person to come to his senses was Mr. Gu. He looked at Lin Huan, who had a leisurely look on his face, and was as shocked as ever. This green tornado was created by this young man. Is it a certain skill card? An epic subordinate that can instantly kill the black iron 9 stars, then the quality of this skill card is legendary level. It's unmistakable, it must be legendary. Not only did he instantly kill the bloodthirsty demon wolf with 1 move, he also broke the protective shield. You know, this is no ordinary protective shield. This special magic card is specially used to fight against card magicians. Black iron level strength will never break this protective shield. Just like the law of heaven, there are never exceptions. But, today, right in front of his eyes, this natural principle was broken. Apart from legendary magic cards, he couldn't think of the second possibility. When he thought that Lin Huan had a legendary magic card in his hand, Mr. Gu's heart suddenly started to churn. Etc. There was a thunder in his mind, and he slapped his thigh suddenly. He remembered. The student from No. 3 middle school who drew a legendary magic card during the magic card activation ceremony this morning is called Lin Huan. Could it be this person in front of me? But, isn't his legendary magic card a subordinate magic card? Mr. Gu was a little confused. If senior officials like them in Tianmeng City wanted to know information about a student, the principal of a mere 3rd middle school would not be able to hide it. What's more, the principal of No. 3 middle school didn't want to hide it. The students in his school drew a legendary magic card, which was a golden sign. He was eager to go everywhere to promote it. Since he drew a subordinate card, where did this legendary skill card come from? Could it be that it was just luck that pulled it out, as he said? When he thought of this possibility, he suddenly took a breath of cold air. A person can draw 2 legendary magic cards and at least 3 epic magic cards in one day. What kind of luck does this have? No, Mr. Gu decided that he must have a good relationship with Lin Huan. In this case, if he sells high-quality magic cards in the future, he will definitely give priority to the Tianqing magic card store. This is a great contribution. It's just that he has such wishful thinking, but he doesn't know that Lin Huan is just short of money this time and is preparing to get the first bucket of startup capital. If you can open your own store to sell magic cards, why let the middleman make the difference? On the stage, Lin Huan looked at the ruined arena. He was also a little surprised. He didn't expect that the skill card Gift of the Storm Goddess was so terrifying when used to attack. If he didn't control it well, he would destroy the field like this. I saw that the quartz arena was like a cement floor, cracking inch by inch, becoming pitted and extremely ugly. This power is like experiencing a storm of magnitude 18. Moreover, this magic card has more than this ability. It can grow with its own strength. If the strength reaches a certain level, wouldn't one person be able to suppress an area with this magic card? But this is a matter for the future, and there is no use thinking about it now. He walked towards Zhang Chen. Now, can we start trading? At this time, Zhang Chen was still in a daze. Until now, he still hasn't figured it out. Where did this cyan tornado come from, and how could he return his bloodthirsty demonic wolf back to its demonic card form in an instant? What was even more unacceptable was the fact that he lost to Lin Huan. Hearing Lin Huan's words, Zhang Chen stood up from the ground and said with pretense of confusion, "Deal? What deal? Why didn't I know there was a deal?" Narrowing his eyes, Lin Huan stared at Zhang Chen and said coldly, "Do you want to default on the bill? I'll just deny my debt. What can you do?" Facing Lin Huan's gaze, Zhang Chen simply stopped pretending. Only a fool would spend more than 100 million alliance coins to buy 2 epic magic cards. If you refuse to pay, you will refuse to pay. Anyway, no one else saw the fight between them. He is the son of the dignified chairman of Zhang Group. What can Lin Huan do to him? I advise you to be obedient and hand over these 100 million alliance coins to this little friend. At this moment, a light voice came. "Old guy, it's none of your business. I want you to talk too much here. Don't think that just because you are the manager of Tianqing Magic Card Store, you are very powerful. I am Zhang Shaoxin's son. Believe it or not, just one word from me can make you lose your position as store manager." Looking at Mr. Gu who was speaking out from the side, Zhang Chen, who was in a very bad mood, stopped pretending and said viciously. No matter how calm a person is, hearing these words will instantly ignite his anger. When Mr. Gu heard Zhang Chen's words, his face suddenly darkened, and he snorted coldly. "HMPH, if I didn't think you were Zhang Shaoxin's son, I wouldn't even bother to talk to you. Don't blame me for not reminding you, this kid's name is Lin Huan." Mr. Gu stopped talking. If Zhang Chen still didn't understand, he would be in trouble. Lin Huan? What about Lin Huan? Halfway through his words, Zhang Chen suddenly stopped and forcefully swallowed the rest of his words. Lin Huan, isn't he the number 3 middle school student who drew the legendary magic card this morning? He was deeply impressed by this name. If it weren't for him, he would be the shining star in this year's magic card activation ceremony in Tianmeng City. But it was he who stole all the limelight from himself. This person is Lin Huan. But even though the person who stole all his limelight was right in front of him, he couldn't think of any revenge. Because he doesn't dare. As the son of the chairman of Zhang Group, he clearly knows what an epic card represents. Of course, he knows better what a legendary magic card means. That not only created the history of the Tianmeng City magic card activation ceremony. More importantly, legendary magic cards are a stepping stone to top universities. Tianmeng City has not produced a student from a top university for many years. He knew very well how important this was to Tianmeng City. Let's put it this way, if you offend Lin Huan, it is equivalent to offending the entire education department of Tianmeng City and the city lord of Tianmeng City. The most critical point is if Lin Huan really gets admitted to a top university in a few months. I have quite offended a future strong man. Among those who can successfully graduate from top universities, which one is not the best? The Zhang group can dominate Tianmeng City, but in front of that kind of top magic card master, it can only be regarded as a slightly bigger ant. Zhang Chen broke into a cold sweat when he thought of this. I'll call my dad right away and ask him to send me money. Zhang Chen's voice was trembling. At the same time, in the office of the chairman of Zhang Group, Zhang Xiaoshan looked at the name on the phone and answered the phone with a smile. Today, Zhang Chen drew an epic magic card, which gave him a lot of face. Now everyone is praising him. Where can he find such a promising son? Hey, son, what's wrong? Are you running out of money? If you need any more, Dad will transfer it to you. Hearing this, Zhang Chen opened his mouth but said nothing. He really couldn't say that he needed more than 100 million alliance coins. Seeing that his son was silent, Zhang Xiaoshan suddenly became nervous. Son, why don't you say anything? Did something happen to you? Little grandson, hearing that his father thought something had happened to him and started calling his secretary, Zhang Chen quickly called him to stop him. Dad, I'm here. I have something to tell you. Zhang Xiaoshan breathed a sigh of relief when he heard that his son was okay. Say, son, no matter what happens, Dad will take care of you. Hearing this, Zhang Chen's heart suddenly returned to his stomach. Since his mother left, his father has always doted on him, especially after he drew the epic magic card today. He was so happy that he gave him 2 million in pocket money. But he was not sure how his father would react when he suddenly lost more than 100 million alliance coins. Now that he heard these words, he was immediately relieved. Sure enough, my father still loves me very much. Dad, it's like this. Soon, Zhang Chen told everything that happened in the past few days. There was silence on the other end of the phone. After a long time, a deep voice came from the other end of the phone. You mean, the person you bet against is Lin Huan, who drew the legendary magic card today? Yes, Dad, please transfer the money to me quickly. Zhang Chen, who was relaxed in his heart, did not notice the strange emotion in his father's voice at all. I'll turn you around. You traitor. A shocking roar came from the other end of the phone. Even a fool can hear the anger of the person who said this. Zhang Chen was immediately stunned. What's going on here? I was fine just now, why did I suddenly become so angry? In the office of the chairman of Zhang Group, Zhang Xiaoshan looked at the word, son, on his phone. My heart was filled with anger. He wished that Zhang Chen was in front of him now so that he could slap him twice to vent his anger. He didn't expect that his son would dare to take the initiative to taunt Lin Huan, and also want to covet other people's epic magic cards. After losing the fight, he still wanted to steal the Zhang Group's 138 million. If word of this gets out, how will the Zhang Group do business? If it were in the past, a student from an outer city like Lin Huan could crush him to death with just one finger, and he would be defaulting on his debt. My son can play however he wants. But the situation is different now. Lin Huan drew a legendary magic card. The situation was directly reversed. Now it was his Zhang Group who did not dare to offend Lin Huan. As the top dignitary of Tianmeng City, he knew that the city lord of Tianmeng City had heard that a student had appeared who had drawn a legendary magic card. I was very happy and even wanted to meet Lin Huan. The man the city lord paid attention to, but his own son offended him. Wouldn't this just put the Zhang Group on the fire? If Lin Huan said something bad about the Zhang Group in front of the city lord, let Zhang's group leave a bad impression in the city lord's mind, and Zhang's group's life will be difficult in the future. When he thought of this, Zhang Xiaoshan wanted to strangle Zhang Chen to death. Just draw an epic magic card and go out to play. Can't you just be more low-key like Lin Huan? What a traitor. But no matter how angry he was, things would eventually be resolved. Resisting the urge to smash the phone, he said to Zhang Chen. Also, who gave you the courage to scold Mr. Ji Yu? He is from the Tianxing Group. Do you want the Zhang Group to die? I will ask the finance department to transfer the money to you later. Please apologize to Lin Huan and Mr. Gu. If you can't even do this well, see how I deal with you when you come back. Zhang Chen swallowed hard. I know. Zhang Chen took the phone back with lingering fear. Ever since he could remember, his father had always been gentle in front of him. But today I got so angry because of Lin Huan. Zhang Chen walked up to Lin Huan and said with a somewhat unnatural expression, Lin Huan, I'm sorry for what happened today. The 3 words, I'm sorry, are barely audible, but as a card magician with black iron strength, how could Lin Huan not hear them? A smile appeared on his face. I can't hear what you said. Zhang Chen's expression suddenly turned ugly. He was sure that Lin Huan had heard it. But he deliberately pretended not to hear, just to let everyone present know that Zhang Chen apologized to Lin Huan. As the son of the Zhang group, when had he ever apologized to others in such a humble manner? To him, this is humiliating. But even so, there was nothing he could do, this was his father's order. Lin Huan, I was wrong about what happened today, I'm sorry. Gritting his teeth, Zhang Chen closed his eyes tightly and shouted out. Seeing Zhang Chen's ugly expression, Lin Huan nodded. This looks like an apology. Okay, let's start trading. The two completed the deal, and Lin Huan stepped down from the ring and said to Mr. Gu, what I said about the epic skills. Don't worry, little friend, I will notify you as soon as the technique arrives. Lin Huan nodded and left the Tianxing magic card store. The purpose of his trip this time, besides selling cards, was to buy a set of epic skills. Originally, he wanted to solve it all at once at the Tianxing magic card store. However, the epic level skills are currently not available at the Tianxing magic card store. You can only apply for them from above, and you have to wait a few days for them to arrive. After Lin Huan left, Mr. Gu looked at Zhang Chen and the girl in the white dress, with a trace of disgust in his eyes. After the fight, let's go. Remember to pay the venue fee before leaving. Hearing this, Zhang Chen suddenly trembled. He bowed deeply to Mr. Gu. Mr. Gu, I'm sorry about what happened today. I shouldn't have said that to you. Also, thank you. If it weren't for you, I would have gotten into big trouble. Hearing his apology, Mr. Gu's originally cold face softened a little, and he nodded towards Zhang Chen. If you know you've made a mistake, correct it. It's not bad. Remember to be careful in the future. Remember Elder Gu's teachings. Watching Mr. Gu leave, several waiters came in to clean the place. Zhang Chen stood there and sighed. Today, this matter is considered a failure. Continuing to stay here would only be embarrassing, so Zhang Chen walked outside. Chen, wait for me. Zhang Chen walked so fast that the girl in the white skirt had to jog all the way to keep up. She didn't catch up until she reached the magic card display hall outside. Chen, the girl in the white dress wanted to hold his hand and give him some comfort. Unexpectedly, Zhang Chen suddenly let go of her hand. Go away, if you hadn't wanted to buy the card, I wouldn't have encountered this mess today. Buy a card, buy Nima. I lost 100 million. I'm annoyed when I see you now, get away from me. Come here again, or I will kill you. Zhang Chen became angry when he thought about having to face his father's anger when he returned home. He kicked the girl in the white dress in the stomach and knocked her to the ground. Zhang Chen left the Tianxing magic card store without going to see the girl in the white dress. The girl in the white dress watched him leave blankly, and finally realized that she was being kicked. When I think of countless expensive clothes, jewelry, and magic cards, they all left with Zhang Chen's departure. Moreover, she had offended the Zhang group, and the girl in the white skirt felt that her future was dark. She was crying loudly on the floor of the magic card exhibition hall. After crying for a while, a waiter came over and said to her, "This guest, although our magic card is indeed displayed to all guests, if you hinder other guests' consumption, I will have to ask you out." She raised her head with tears in her eyes and found that the waiter was the one who spoke to her in the first place. Moreover, he actually repeated to her exactly what he had just said to Lin Huan, without changing a word. She didn't know if it was an illusion, but she vaguely saw a hint of ridicule in the waiter's eyes. You. The girl in the white dress pointed at him, furious. She rolled her eyes and passed out. Looking at the girl in the white dress who was unconscious on the ground, the waiter threw her out of the store without any sympathy. Early the next morning, Mother Lin stood in the living room, looking around, with a hint of sadness in her eyes. We have lived in this house for decades, and now that we have just left, we feel a little reluctant to leave. Okay, why don't you be pretentious? Moving to the inner city won't make you more beautiful. Putting his arms around her shoulders, Lin's father comforted him, and after he goes to college, we will live in the inner city, and our safety will be more guaranteed, so that Huaner won't have to worry about us when he goes out in the future. I know it too, but I still can't bear to part with it. After all, there are not only memories of our family here, but also of Yuki. Father Lin sighed, with a hint of melancholy in his eyes. Buzz buzz, people from the moving company should be here, let's go out. Patting Mother Lin's shoulder, Father Lin took the lead and walked out. This is an old community in the outer city. Neighbors have lived together for more than 10 years and know each other's situation well. Most of the people living here have children, and they all tighten their belts for the magic card activation ceremony. No one has the financial means to afford a car. Suddenly they heard the sound of a car engine, and everyone came out curiously. A group of people who looked to be about the same age as Lin Huan's parents gathered together and started whispering when they saw the moving company's truck. Isn't this from the moving company? Which family is moving out? Amid everyone's questioning looks, Lin Huan's parents were seen approaching the moving company staff. It turns out it's Lao Lin's family. It's strange, Lao Lin and his whole family have lived here for decades, why are they suddenly moving away? Hey, Shuzhou, don't you live next to Lao Lin's house? Do you know why? Among a group of people in their 40s and 50s, there was a man who was obviously younger but looked to be in his 30s and nodded with a sigh. Old Lin's son, that boy Lin Huan, participated in the magic card activation ceremony today. What does their moving have to do with this? Hearing this, the man who looked to be in his 30s sighed again. I heard that they spent all their money to get Lin Huan to draw heroic magic cards. They even borrowed foreign debt to buy a card pack for Lin Huan. Oh, Lao Lin is really confused. How can it be so easy to draw a hero-level magic card? The boss I work for, his son drew 10 sets of card packs, but there is not a single hero-level magic card. Oh, it's really not worth losing your house for the sake of your child's future. Children are debts, and the parents will always suffer. Speaking of this, everyone sighed. In this case, Lao Lin and the others are probably going to move to a more peripheral location. It's so far away, maybe we'll never see each other again. The farther away you live from the inner city of Tianmeng City, the greater the probability of being attacked by monsters. Therefore, under normal circumstances, except for card magicians, ordinary people like them will not go to the periphery. The man who lives near Lin Huan's house shook his head. For the sake of my child's future, I think my kid will just use the free card packs issued by the Alliance from now on. If he really can't draw the rare magic card, it will be his life. That's right, it's better than the old Lin family. All their savings were spent, the house was sold, and they were still in debt. In the end, they didn't even draw a rare card. They really lost money to my grandma's family. Okay, Lao Lin and the others have lived with us for more than 10 years. They are leaving. Let's go see them off together. It has to be said that compared to the scheming rich people in the inner city, although the common people living in the outer city have no money, they have fewer interest entanglements and their relationship is more harmonious. Old Lin. Standing at the door, Father Lin, who had just finished communicating with the people from the moving company, was about to go in. I heard someone shouting. As soon as he turned around, he saw his neighbors who had lived with him for more than 10 years approaching. Why are you all here? Are there any activities today? Not today, I have something else to do. Looking at them, Father Lin's eyes flashed with doubt. Hey, Lao Lin, I saw that you were moving, so we came here to see you off. Old Lin, don't worry. Although we are moving to the outermost part of Tianmeng City, with the patrol team here, safety is definitely guaranteed. Yes, even though Lin Huan's card drawing result was not very good today, don't blame him. Drawing a rare card is a small probability event after all. That's right, don't blame yourself too much. You have fulfilled your responsibilities as a father. Moreover, even if Lin Huan is like us, there is nothing wrong with being an ordinary person. We will still live happily. Father Lin was a little confused when he heard what these neighbors said. What are you talking about? Why move to the outermost part of Tianmeng City and the card drawing results are not very good? After wiping it, Father Lin's eyes showed a smile. He understood that these old friends must have sold the house directly because they thought they were buying a card pack for Huaner. As a result, Huaner didn't even take out a rare card and had to move further out. No, have you misunderstood? Just when he was about to open his mouth to explain, a voice suddenly interrupted him. Excuse me, classmate Lin Huan, does he live here? Suddenly a strange voice appeared, and they all looked at it in confusion. I saw an elegant-looking man in a well-dressed suit standing not far away. I am Lin Huan's father, who are you? Looking at the man in front of him, Lin's father looked confused. He recalled it carefully and determined that he had never seen the person in front of him before. When he heard that he claimed to be Lin Huan's father, the man in the suit's eyes suddenly lit up. A friendly smile suddenly appeared on his face, and he quickly stepped forward and walked to Father Lin. Hello, I'm here to deliver the admission notice to Lin Huan. Admission letter? What admission letter? Father Lin scratched his hair in confusion. That's right, I'm from the admissions office of Haihei University. I'm here this time to let Lin Huan choose to study in our Haihei University. We know that our Haihei University is not worthy of outstanding talents like Lin Huan, but the principal of our school has personally promised that if Lin Huan chooses to study in our Haihei University, in addition to scholarships, there are lots of extra special bonuses. What do you think? When he heard that it was a first-class university recruiting students, Lin's father was a little at a loss for a moment. Lin Huan went to the inner city this morning and hasn't come back yet. Why don't you come in first and wait? Okay. The person from the admissions office nodded. After the two people entered, a group of neighbors stood there and stared at each other. Lin Huan, didn't you even draw a rare card? Why did Haihei Academy come to recruit students? And he also said that Haihei University is not worthy of Lin Huan. Isn't Haihei University a first-class university? Hiss. I remembered that my little brat and Lin Huan were both from No. 3 middle school. My son came back today and said that one of their number 3 middle schools had a student who drew a legendary magic card. Could it be Lin Huan? This can't be. Although they said they couldn't believe it, everyone looked a little convinced. Apart from legendary magic cards, what else would make someone from the admissions office of a first-class university say, not worthy? At the same time, in the inner city, Jinxiu Mall. A man who looked like a manager was talking to Lin Huan. Mr. Lin, this used to be a store selling decorations. Although it doesn't look big, it's definitely enough if you want to open a magic card store. Compared with other shopping malls in the same location and area, our Jinxiu Group's prices are definitely the most authentic and affordable. You are free to take a look. Hearing this, Lin Huan walked around the small shop and looked at it, nodding secretly in his heart. Although the area is not large, it is enough to open an ordinary magic card store. After all, making money by opening this magic card shop is secondary. The original intention is to give parents a comfortable environment, and it is enough to put some low-level magic cards. As for those high-end magic cards you have drawn, selling them online is the best choice. Okay, let's sign the contract. Hearing this, the Jinxiu Group manager's eyes flashed with joy, and he quickly said to Lin Huan, Mr. Lin, please follow me. Sign the contract. Lin Huan walked straight towards home. As soon as I arrived at the gate of the community, I met the neighbor's children. Brother Lin Huan, there are a lot of guests at your house today that I have never seen before. Are they some distant relatives? Hearing this, Lin Huan's heart tightened, and after asking a few questions, he hurried home. He, Lin Huan, and his family have never fought over each other. They have very few friends and relatives, and there are not even many guests at home. How come a group of people came all of a sudden? Did something happen? The child named Xiaofu had just walked out not far when he was stopped by a group of fierce-looking people with devil tattoos on their bodies. Kid, do you know where Lin Kadong's family lives? Xiaofu couldn't help but took half a step back, with a little fear in his voice. Why are you looking for Uncle Lin? Kid, don't be afraid, we are all his friends. That's it. Upon hearing this, the fear in Xiaofu's eyes clearly dissipated. He pointed in the direction Lin Huan had just ran. You keep walking along this road. There is a big truck parked at the door, which is Uncle Lin's home. Walk. The leader waved and the group of people walked towards Lin Huan's home. Before arriving home, Lin Huan saw the moving company's truck parked at the door. His door was wide open, and he felt nervous. He walked quickly towards the door of his house, ready to summon his magic card at any moment. Ha ha ha, how can my Huaner be so good? Before he even reached the door, he heard his mother's joyful laughter. Lin Huan was stunned. This situation was different from what he thought. He originally thought it was Zhang Chen who was looking for trouble, but now it seems that's not the case. When he walked into the house, he saw his parents sitting on the sofa with smiles on their faces. There were also a dozen strangers in the house. These people were all wearing formal attire and had considerable magic power flowing from their bodies. They were sitting in a circle in the living room as if they were having a meeting. This situation made Lin Huan a little confused. Mom and Dad, what is this? Before Father Lin and Mother Lin could say anything, the dozen or so people immediately surrounded him. Oh, you must be classmate Lin Huan, you are such a talented person. Yes, he looks like a young talent at first glance. Being able to draw legendary magic cards, this is the way of luck, the chosen son of Tianmeng City. More than a dozen people grabbed Lin Huan and gave him a rainbow fart, vying for the lead, as if he would fall behind others if he praised him less. After finally escaping from the siege of more than a dozen people, Lin Huan had the opportunity to ask. No, who are you? Huaner, it's like this. At this time, Mother Lin came over and began to explain to Lin Huan. It turned out that when Lin's father and Lin's mother were preparing to move, Haihei University suddenly came to deliver the admission notice, hoping that Lin Huan would choose their school to study. Not long after they invited people from Haihei University into their home, people from these first-class universities came to visit one after another. Their purpose is the same, which is to let Lin Huan choose their school to study. After figuring out the ins and outs of the matter, Lin Huan was a little surprised. I didn't expect these first-class universities to move so quickly. On the second day, they all found their way home. But Lin Huan's goal was to go to a top university after all, so he still chose to refuse. Sorry, I have to think about this matter carefully. We have to move today, so please go back for the time being. Student Lin Huan, you were busy today and we shouldn't have disturbed you, but for you, our Haihei Academy is really sincere. Can you please listen to what I have to say? At first, the person from the admissions office of Haihei University stood up and said. Just kidding, he came over and didn't want Lin Huan to think about it. He knew that as long as Lin Huan considered it, he would definitely go to a top university. They came in advance just to grab students from top universities, promising some benefits in advance that top universities would not give, and letting him choose his own university. Especially today, when so many people from first-class universities came at the same time, we couldn't leave. What if Lin leaves early and is snatched away by another school? Before Lin Huan could refuse, someone from the admissions class at Haihei University said quickly. Student Lin Huan, if you choose our Haihei University, we can promise that your tuition will be free of charge for the 4 years you study in the school, and we will grant you a special scholarship every year, totaling 4 million alliance coins. We are also very sincere about your training plan. Before your strength reaches the gold level, all the resources required will be borne by our Haihei Academy. Also, in these 4 years, your parents will also receive a subsidy of 500,000 alliance coins every year. How do you feel? After he finished speaking, the people in the admissions class of Haihei University looked at him expectantly. Such generous conditions are not something you can promise lightly. But before Lin Huan could speak, he was interrupted by another voice. Classmate Lin Huan, the treatment at our Kie Academy. Our Zaka Academy also. If you choose our Xena Academy. People from the admissions offices of more than a dozen first-class universities present expressed their conditions. The treatment is better than the other. Every offer offered by a first-class university made Lin's parents and Lin's parents excited. If this was not a major event that would determine Lin Huan's future and he had to make his own decision, they would have eagerly agreed on his behalf. After listening to what they said, Lin Huan touched his chin. To be honest, he didn't expect that these first-class universities would spend so much money. He just wanted to choose one of their universities to study. It seems that the fact that he drew a legendary magic card is more important than imagined. There must be some secret in it that I don't know about. Otherwise, even if he had drawn the legendary magic card, he would not have made more than a dozen people from first-class universities so shameless that he even started to chase them away, but he would still have the shamelessness to stay here. I was afraid that I would choose another school. Thinking of this, Lin Huan made a decision in his mind. Just as more than a dozen people from the admissions offices of different first-class universities looked at Lin Huan expectantly, a loud shout suddenly came from outside. Lin Kedong, come out. Lin Huan frowned. This tone was unkind. Dad, are you making enemies with people outside? Lin Kedong is the name of Lin Huan's father. The man outside named him by name, so he didn't seem to be looking for the wrong person. No, Father Lin was also confused. He is gentle and rarely gets angry. He has never quarreled with others, let alone made enemies with others. Otherwise, he would not have such a good relationship with his neighbors. Let's go out and take a look. Lin Huan stood up and was the first to walk outside. As soon as they went out, they saw a group of people, big and thick, staring at them fiercely. Lin Huan narrowed his eyes when he saw them blocking the moving company's truck. Lin Kedong, what? You moved after borrowing money, and you don't want to repay the debt. Seeing Father Lin come out, the leader of the group, a man with short hair, pointed at Father Lin and said coldly. Why is it him? Seeing this short-haired man, Lin's father shouted in surprise. Dad, what's going on? Hearing this sentence, Lin Huan frowned and asked. He knew his father's temperament, he was gentle and honest. As for this group of people, they just have the words, I am a bad guy, written on their faces. Logically speaking, his father should not be associated with this kind of person, but his father seemed to know this person, which made Lin Huan realize that this matter was not simple. As such that, Father Lin explained the matter quickly. It turned out that after Lin's father spent all his savings over the years, he found that he still lacked tens of thousands of alliance coins to buy a card pack. Just when he was about to sell some property to repay the money, this short-haired man came to his door. He told him that as long as he registered his identity information, he could lend him money. The loan amount of 200,000 alliance coins will be received within 1 minute. Repayment within 7 days will be interest-free, and interest will be calculated after 7 days. With such a good condition, Father Lin reluctantly agreed after hesitating. There's nothing you can do if you don't agree. If he wanted to buy a card package, he still needed tens of thousands of union coins. Unless he mortgaged his house to the federal bank, he would not be able to borrow tens of thousands of union coins elsewhere. But if you apply for a loan from the federal bank, the procedures are troublesome. The procedures alone take a long time, and you won't get the money right away. Therefore, he borrowed 50,000 alliance coins from the short man. But what he didn't expect was that on the second day, this short-haired man would come to his door. And they brought so many people. Could it be that if I don't pay back the money today, will they still want to take action? After listening, Lin Huan nodded. The situation was better than he imagined. His father just accidentally borrowed a loan shark. How much did my family borrow from you? Upon hearing this, the expression of the short-haired man suddenly softened. Being able to say such things proves that he has no intention of running away directly. If he can pay back the money, he will naturally not take action. After all, loan sharking is also about making money. Including principal and interest, a total of 60,000 alliance coins. What? I just borrowed time for a day, why does the interest cost 10,000? Father Lin was shocked when he heard the number, 60,000 inches, and then couldn't help but question. Hearing this, the short-haired man sneered. Joke. If the interest rate is not high, how can they make money from loan sharking? That's how we do it. What's your problem? At this time, people from the admissions offices of first-class universities all walked out of Lin Huan's home. Originally, this was a matter within Lin Huan's family. As outsiders, they couldn't take care of it. But then they thought about it and felt that if Lin Huan had any difficulties at home, if they published a book to help solve the problem, they would definitely leave a good impression on Lin Huan. In this case, when Lin Huan chooses a school, which one he will give priority to? Needless to say. So, they all ran out in a swarm. Facts have proved that their decision was not wrong. Although I didn't know what it was at first, I vaguely heard the word, owed money. Their eyes suddenly lit up. The person from Haihei University was the first to run to Lin Huan and said, "Classmate Lin Huan, I think you seem to be in financial difficulty. Our Haihei University can advance your scholarship." As soon as these words came out, people from other schools were immediately unhappy. You, Haihei University, are the only ones willing to spend the money, right? Classmate Lin Huan, we at Kie University can also prepay scholarships. Our Zaka Academy can do it too. Hey, classmate Lin Huan, our Kina Academy can sponsor you for free. Suddenly, outside the house, more than a dozen people from first-class universities started a new round of competition again. Father and Mother Lin on the side were very calm. After all, they had heard the more exaggerated rewards just now. But when the short-haired man saw this farce-like scene, he stayed where he was. Aren't these all people from higher education institutions? Those from Haihei Academy, Kie Academy, Zaka Academy, Xena Academy. The short-haired man recognized these dozen people. These people in charge of admissions will appear in the promotional video every year. Not a little famous. After discovering that they were all from first-class universities, I suddenly took a breath of cold air. What's happening here? People from more than a dozen first-class universities are rushing to help Lin Kedong's son pay off his debts. Soon, he thought that during the magic card activation ceremony yesterday, a number 3 middle school student drew a legendary magic card. Could it be his son? Yes, that must be the case, otherwise, how could these people from first-class universities put down their high stature and please this kid like ordinary people? You know, in the past, people from first-class universities were all middle and upper-level people in the entire federation. Wherever they go, people are holding them. If it wasn't a legendary magic card, how could they be like this? After realizing that these people were from first-class universities, the short-haired man could only stand there and watch these people compete here. He didn't dare to speak to urge him, that would be seeking death. Moreover, it was an eye-opener to see these big shots in the past fighting like hawkers in the market with their faces red-faced. Okay, I accept everyone's wishes, but this is my family matter after all, so let me solve it myself. Unable to stand a group of people arguing all the time, Lin Huan finally interrupted them. After hearing this, everyone in the first-class university stopped showing off. After all, Lin Huan has already said this, and if he jumps out to say that he wants to help, isn't that going against him? How much did you just say my father owed you? As soon as these people interrupted him, he forgot how much the short-haired man said. 50,000 alliance coins. Lin Huan asked suddenly, and the short-haired man almost calculated the interest. When he realized that the person in front of him was the one who had drawn the legendary magic card, he knew that this person would definitely become a big shot in the future. It would be really stupid to covet the interest of 10,000 yuan. Okay, 50,000 principal, and you will have nothing to do with my family from now on. With a net worth of over 100 million, it's only 50,000. Lin Huan has no pain or itch here, but he is too lazy to bother with this matter. After paying back the 50,000 alliance coins owed by his father, the short-haired man left with these dozen people. Classmate Lin Huan. As soon as those loan sharks left, the people in the admissions office couldn't wait to know Lin Huan's final choice. Everyone, although the conditions you offered are very good, I have decided to apply for a top university, so. Lin Huan didn't say clearly if he borrowed it. But they all knew that this was already a rejection. There's no point in staying here shamelessly. So they all said goodbye to Lin Huan. The man from Haihei Academy said before leaving, "Classmate Lin Huan, if you change your mind, please contact me at any time." I won't change my mind again. Lin Huan knew that if he didn't keep his words to death, these people would definitely not give up. All right. The person from Haihei Academy sighed inwardly. Lin Huan has such a powerful legendary subordinate, and he is still an unknown race. No one is sure how high his upper limit will be in the future. It is really a loss for Haihei University that such a student with unlimited potential was not recruited. When only Lin Huan's family was left, the three of them started working on moving again. The other side. A tattooed man came up to the short-haired man and asked with a puzzled look on his face, "Brother Long, did you just Shao-sun, do you know what is the most important thing for a loan shark to grow big?" The tattooed man scratched his head and said tentatively, "You want to be cruel." The short-haired man shook his head and blew out a puff of smoke. "It's the look. Do you know who those dozen people were just now?" "I don't know." The tattooed man named Shao-sun shook his head in confusion. "Let me tell you, those people just now are all teachers from first-class universities. Even if they are placed in the entire Federation, they are all prominent figures, let alone this Tianmeng city. If I had just coveted the interest of the 10,000 alliance coins, I would have offended someone." "So that's it," the tattooed man nodded thoughtfully. He has too little knowledge to understand what teachers from first-class universities represent. He only knows that they are big shots and he cannot afford to offend them. Scratching his head, he asked with some confusion, "But, Brother Long, I have investigated Lin Kadong. He is just an ordinary poor man. How come so many big shots know him?" "I don't know him, but those big shots are here for his son. If I guessed correctly, his son should be the student who drew the legendary magic card yesterday." Having said this, all the loan sharks had envious looks in their eyes. A legendary magic card, that's really soaring into the sky. The legendary magic card, I'm so envious, the tattooed man's eyes were filled with longing. "Okay, stop dreaming, where will you go next?" "It's Lu Jian's family. His son won't also draw a high-quality magic card, right?" The short-haired man asked cautiously, fearing that what just happened would happen again. "Don't worry, Brother Long. I've investigated clearly. Lu Jian's son Lu Ziken only drew rare cards today. The situation just now won't happen again." "That's good, let's go." Go to his house. Lu Ziken's home. Lu Jian sat on the small wooden bench with his head lowered and lit a cigarette in his hand. He did not smoke, but just let the cigarette burn quietly. The white smoke produced by inferior cigarettes lingered around his head, making it look as if the white smoke was holding his head down. Beside him, a very haggard-looking woman also had a sad look on her face. On the other two small wooden benches, Lu Ziken and Lu Sha Sha, who looked about 12 or 13 years old, also remained silent. If Lin Huan were present, he would be surprised to find that this Lu Sha Sha is the little girl selling flowers yesterday. In this living room with an area of only 10 square meters, there was silence, except for the sound of cigarettes burning quietly. After a long time, seeing his parents still like this, Lu Ziken looked impatient. "I said, can you please stop acting like this? Isn't it just that you didn't draw the hero magic card? So what, without the hero magic card, I can still become a powerful card magician." When he said these words, Lu Ziken's expression was a little hysterical. Originally, he was in a bad mood because he didn't draw a hero-level magic card during yesterday's magic card activation ceremony. Especially when he thought that Lin Huan not only drew a hero-level magic card in front of him, but also epic-level magic cards and legendary-level magic cards, he felt even more unhappy. After he came back, his parents were in this state after hearing that he had only drawn 2 rare-level magic cards out of a total of 5 card packs. The two of them didn't speak, but his father kept smoking. He had had enough of this heavy atmosphere. Lu Jian sighed and took a long drag on his cigarette. He didn't blame Lu Ziken for not drawing the hero magic card, but he was worried about what would happen in the future. For Lu Ziken's card draw this time, their family can be said to have done everything possible to sell the iron. They sold their original house and moved to the outermost part of Tianmeng City. They even borrowed a large sum of money from a loan shark. A total of 400,000 alliance coins were collected and bought 4 sets of card packs, just to let Lu Ziken draw the hero-level magic card. In this way, he would have a chance to be admitted to a first-class university. As long as I can get into a first-class university, the future will not only be smooth, but at least the future will be promising. But this beautiful fantasy was shattered. Because Lu Ziken only opened 2 rare cards. Nowadays, let alone getting into a first-class university, the debt alone can weigh them down. The 2 rare cards plus other common-level magic cards, even if they were all sold, would only amount to more than 200,000 alliance coins. How should we repay the foreign debt of more than 100,000 alliance coins? In such an atmosphere, not only Lu Ziken, but also Lu Sha Sha couldn't stand the atmosphere at home, so she picked up a flower basket and prepared to go out. Just when she was about to push the door open and go out, the door to her home was pushed open with a bang. Several men with fierce looks came in. Lu Sha Sha, who was about to open the door and leave, was immediately frightened back. The moment Lu Jian looked at the coming person, his eyes were suddenly startled and he stood up. Long, brother Long, why are you here? There was unspeakable fear in his voice. Why is this house so small? As soon as he entered the door, Brother Long frowned when he saw such a small living room. He looked at Lu Jian, who stood up, with an impatient look on his face. Stop talking nonsense and pay back the money. Hearing the word, pay back the money, Lu Ziken's parents' faces suddenly turned pale. Brother Long, didn't we agree to pay it off in 1 month? Hearing this, Brother Long's eyes became increasingly impatient. A month? If you move to a place like this, you might be eaten by a monster tomorrow. Who will I go to for money then? This is already the outermost perimeter of Tianmeng City. The defense is weak and may be attacked by monsters at any time. For example, the owner of the house they live in now was attacked and killed by a monster, so he sold it to them at a low price. So, I will give you 3 days now. Regardless of whether you steal or rob, you will get a total of 500,000 alliance coins with interest. I must see it in 3 days. If you don't have 500,000, I will capture your son and take him to the Crimson Secret Realm to mine. When Lu Ziken heard that he was going to be arrested for mining, his face turned pale with fright and his body was shaking like chaff. The Crimson Secret Realm is a secret realm not far from Tianmeng City. Humans have discovered a very precious ore in it, which is of great use to humans. But the monsters inside are also very ferocious, even though humans have established a stronghold inside. But if you go mining, the mortality rate is as high as 90%. Tianmeng City always lets some death row prisoners mine. If he, a senior high school student, goes there, he will definitely die. As soon as she heard this, Mother Lu knelt down on the ground, grabbed Brother Long's trousers, and said with tears, Brother Long, you also know the situation of my family, how could I raise 500,000 in 3 days? Alliance coins. Can't raise the money. It's easy. Just give your son to me in 3 days. Brother Long sneered. Long, Brother Long, Ziken is my only son, we really can't lose him. If, otherwise, the 2 of us will go mining and let my son go. At this moment, Lu Ziken also said with a trembling voice, no, that's right, arrest 2 people to go mining, it's the money they borrowed, why should I bear the responsibility? Hearing this, Lu's father, Lu's mother and Lu Sha Sha looked at him in disbelief. Brother, how can you say such a thing? Your parents only borrow money for your future. Lu Sha Sha said with a pale face. Although she had always known that her brother was a jerk, she didn't expect that he could be such a jerk. Ha ha, I am their son, they should be like this is how they should be. After several days of low mood, coupled with this sudden fear, all Lu Ziken's emotions were amplified at this time. In order to survive, he could not care about anything else. When Brother Long heard this, he also said teasingly to Mother Lu at his feet, your son is really filial. Although Lu Ziken's words made Lu's mother feel chilled, she still did not loosen Brother Long's trousers and begged bitterly. Brother Long, please let my son go. Get out of here. Brother Long kicked him away. You're old and you're still mining. I'm digging. Remember, you only have 3 days. After saying that, regardless of Lu's father and Lu's mother's constant pleading, he turned around and wanted to leave. Looking at his back, Lu Ziken stayed where he was. I just feel that death is getting closer and closer to me. 3 days later, it will be his death. No, I want to become a powerful card magician. How could I die? How could I, Lu Ziken, die? How could I, Lu Ziken, die? Suddenly, he saw the well-behaved look of his sister beside him, and he suddenly thought of something. He climbed up from the ground on his hands and knees, and shouted at Brother Long's back, Brother Long. Brother Long, I will use my sister to pay off the debt. Oh, hearing this, Brother Long stopped, turned around, and looked at Lu Ziken, with a look of interest on his face. Seeing Brother Long turn around, Lu Ziken felt infinite hope in his heart. Brother Long, this is my sister. She is only 12 or 13 years old now, and she is still a virgin. Selling it to some people with special quirks will definitely make more money than me selling it for mining. Looking at Lu Ziken, Brother Long suddenly laughed. Not bad, I didn't expect to see so many interesting things today. Boy, I accept your proposal. If you can't come up with 500,000 yuan in 3 days, your sister will pay the bill. Lu Ziken breathed a sigh of relief when he saw Brother Long accept his proposal and leave. Turning around, he saw Father Lu and Mother Lu looking at each other as if they were strangers, and Lu Sha Sha looked at him with fear in her eyes. Facing his sister's fearful gaze, Lu Ziken smiled carelessly and said to Father Lu and Mother Lu, I am a man, and Xiao Xiao is a woman. What is the use of women? Isn't that the idea behind you supporting me in school instead of her? Why, do you regret it now? Ziken, you. Mother Lu looked at him, stunned and speechless. Her heart was like a hole filled with holes, and all the blood flowing out was sad. If Lu Ziken said it before, it could be understood that he wanted to survive, so he asked his parents to go mining, but now this kind of words can no longer be explained by the desire for survival. This is simply frenzied beast. Lu's father slapped him directly in the face. Get out of here. From now on, I will treat you as if I don't have a son. Covering his red and swollen face, Lu Ziken looked at Lu Jian and sneered again and again. Okay, if you treat me like this now, don't regret it in the future. He slammed the door and walked out. Chapter 31. Fairview Mall. Looking at the decoration workers who were busy working inside, Father Lin and Mother Lin were a little confused. Huaner, what is this? Mom and Dad, I want to open a magic card store here, and then you will be responsible for the management and operation. How about it? But, we don't know how to do business. They were very excited about Lin Huan's proposal, but at the same time, they were also very worried. Their son thinks about them so much, but they are afraid that if they make this magic card shop lose money, they will cause trouble for their son. Don't worry, the operation of the magic card store is relatively simple. As long as you have magic cards, you won't lose money. After some hesitation, Father Lin and Mother Lin agreed. Seeing that his parents agreed, Lin Huan finally breathed a sigh of relief, and now the matter at the magic card store has finally been resolved. Yesterday, after he got the qualification to register a store on Taoca Online, he paid a deposit of 1 million to register a store. Because the transaction magic card requires payment first and then to the card, this 1 million deposit is set up by Taoca.com to ensure the rights and interests of buyers, in order to prevent sellers from taking money and running away. The name of the magic card store is Fantasy Boutique Magic Card Store. There are even epic magic cards that have never been sold by merchants on Taoca.com. By the way, Huaner, since we are going to open a magic card store, where will our purchase source come from? Lin Huan smiled slightly at his father. Don't worry about this, I'll take care of it. Just kidding, with a god-level lucky draw buff, will there still be a shortage of magic cards? When others draw cards, it is gambling, but when he draws cards, it is buying goods. Mom and Dad, you guys are here to keep an eye on the decoration first, and I'll go replenish the goods first. After saying goodbye to his parents, Lin Huan returned to a villa, a new house he bought in the inner city. After buying a villa, renting a shop, and paying a deposit, he had almost spent the more than 100 million alliance coins he had received from Zhang Chen. Lin Huan decided to draw all the blank magic cards today. After you draw the magic card, you can hang it in the store and start making money. He took out a large wind-type card bag and began to fill it with blank magic cards. This large card pack is an upgraded version of the ordinary card pack and can draw 100 blank magic cards at one time. However, even with the card pack, the magic content of the Black Iron 7 stars was not enough to support him in drawing out more than 300 magic cards. Thinking like this, he activated his magic power to summon Phyllis. Master, what are your orders? As soon as Phyllis appeared, this gorgeous villa became even more beautiful. I'm going to start drawing cards now. Phyllis, you can use elf magic to help me restore my magic power later. Yes. Hearing Lin Huan was about to draw a card, a curious look flashed in Phyllis's eyes. As a subordinate, this was her first time seeing a human draw cards. Lin Huan packed up 100 blank magic cards, placed the big card bag on the table, and put his palm on the big card bag. There was a generous blue light in his palm, and magic power spurted out like a torrent. Suddenly, magic cards of various colors flew out one after another. Lin Huan looked at it carefully, and the information about the magic cards automatically appeared in his eyes. Although he no longer looks down on magic cards below epic quality, he may draw magic cards like last time. There are never too many magic cards for any card magician. After all the magic power in the magic card is extracted, it will automatically dissipate, leaving the original magic card slot vacant. You're lucky, there are 3 magic cards. After collecting these 3 magic cards, he began to look at the epic magic cards. Subordinate cards, equipment cards, skill cards. There are not many epic magic cards. Although they are all high quality, he already has magic cards with the same function. When he saw the last epic magic card, Lin Huan's eyes suddenly lit up. Finally, there is an epic magic card that works. Magic card name: Riding the Wind and Waves. Type: Skill magic card. Attribute: Wind system. Quality: Epic level. Effect: after the card magician is integrated into this magic card, the card magician can control the airflow and gain the ability to fly freely. Seeing this magic card, Lin Huan thought of another magic card of his. Legendary skill card, Gift of the Storm Goddess. Originally, this legendary magic card could give him the power of the storm. With the addition of Riding the Wind and Waves, he could control the storm for bonuses. After all, storms also belong to the category of air currents. At that time, when using Riding the Wind and Waves, both speed and flexibility will be greatly increased. This is what attracts him the most. Without a mount, if a card magician wants to fly with magic power, he must at least reach the gold level. Even at the gold level, one can barely fly, and only at the platinum level can one fly freely. And now that he has these 2 magic cards, he can fly freely in the air at the black iron level. If word of this spreads, I am afraid that many people will vomit blood with envy. While he was carefully looking at this epic magic card, he was still sending magic power into the big card bag. Suddenly, he caught a faint orange light from the corner of his eye. He suddenly turned around. I saw a magic card emitting orange light floating quietly in the air. Finally, a legendary card is out. 30 or 40 blank magic cards have just been drawn. Although many epic magic cards have been produced, not a single legendary magic card has been produced. Now this is the first one. He looked at it intently, and the relevant information about the magic card appeared automatically. Magic card name: Wind Demon Dragon. Type: Slave magic card. Attributes: Wind type, Dragon type. Quality: Legendary level. Skills: Wind Demon Roar, Swift Streaming Light. Introduction: even among a naturally powerful race like dragons, the Wind Demon Dragon is a well-deserved powerhouse among the dragon races, especially in the sky. No dragon can match it. Another legendary subordinate. Lin Huan's eyes flashed with joy. Except for the 2 magic cards that he is currently bound to, the magic cards he owns are already very comprehensive in function. For defense and battery life, there is the Ancient Elf Tree. For attack, there is the Elf Princess Felice. For group attack means, there is the Blessing of the Storm Goddess, and for mobility, there is also Riding the Wind and Waves. The only thing that is relatively weak is the means of air combat. Now with the Wind Demon Dragon, the shortcomings in aerial combat can be made up for. After binding this legendary magic card, he continued to draw cards. It took Lin Huan 2 hours to draw more than 300 blank magic cards. A total of more than 130 ordinary cards, more than 70 rare cards, more than 50 hero cards, more than 30 epic cards, and 9 legendary magic cards were released. Seeing the results of drawing more than 300 blank magic cards, Lin Huan nodded with satisfaction. With so many magic cards, the magic card store doesn't have to worry about running out of cards for the time being. After taking Phyllis back, he estimated that his parents had almost changed back. More than 10 minutes later, when Father Lin and Mother Lin returned to the villa, he handed over all the magic cards below the epic level to his parents. He will sell the epic magic card sooner or later, but not now. Putting aside the fact that he is now going out to promote that his magic card store sells epic magic cards, whether anyone will believe it or not, he can't even get out the deposit required to be paid on Taoka.com. The deposit paid on Taoka Online is based on the level of the magic card you sell. 1 million is the average price of a hero-level magic card, so the deposit is 1 million. If you want to sell epic magic cards on Tauka.com, the deposit is 10 million. The more than 100 million alliance coins in his hand have been used up, and he can only pay the deposit of 10 million by selling some magic cards. After temporarily settling the matter at the magic card shop, Lin Huan began to focus on his own situation. Look at the properties panel first. Name: Lin Huan. Affiliated magic cards: Elf Princess Phyllis Legendary Level, Wind Demon Dragon Legendary Level, Elf Ancient Tree Epic Level. Skill card: Gift of the Storm Goddess Legendary, Riding the Wind and Waves Epic, Photosynthesis Heroic. Equipment magic card: Hurricane Cloak Epic Level. Talent: Advanced. Level: Black Iron 7 stars. Buff bonus: God level lucky value for drawing cards. After drawing the legendary magic card, although he no longer had to take the college entrance examination, he still had to prepare for the independent examination at the top university. Although there are still a few months left, it is still very difficult to practice from the black iron level to the silver level. The improvement of magic power becomes slower towards the back, and the bottleneck encountered when increasing levels at a large level is even more time-consuming. So every minute and every second in the past few months, he had to seize the time to practice. The next day, after buying the epic level training technique from Mr. Gu at the Tianxing Magic Card Store, Lin Huan has been practicing magic in the villa. Time flew by. By the time Lin Huan reached the Black Iron 9 stars, a week had passed. Feeling the surge in magic power in his body, he was also delighted. Under normal circumstances, if you want to cultivate to the Black Iron 9 stars, it will take at least half a year. But when the meditation method and martial arts were both at the epic level, the magic power in his body grew rapidly. Especially the pure magic power provided by those two magic cards, which did not require further purification of magic power, and saved him a lot of effort. Directly shortened the training time of half a year to 1 week. However, it is worth mentioning that the magic power in the rare magic card awarded to him by the principal was almost used up. He was quite surprised at first. Logically speaking, the magic power contained in a rare magic card is enough for him to practice to the silver level. As a result, the magic power inside was consumed quickly when he used it. If it weren't for the fact that the green light emitted from the magic card couldn't be faked, he would have suspected that what the principal gave him was a fake. As his strength increased, he understood. It's not that the magic power contained in the magic card has decreased, but that the total amount of magic power his body can hold has increased. If it is an ordinary Black Iron 9 star, if you want to practice to the bronze level, the total amount of magic required is a water tank. And the total amount of magic power he needs is a pond. This difference is caused by the different talents of each person. The higher the talent, the greater the total amount of magic power that the same level can hold. And although his current talent is still only at a high level, he can clearly feel it. After binding the Wind Demon Dragon and riding the wind and waves, my talent has improved a lot. This is why a rare magic card can only support him until he reaches bronze. But then, it is not that simple to break through from black iron to bronze. He simply sensed that the total amount of magic power required was more than the magic power required for the previous breakthroughs combined. If you just rely on meditation and exercises, it may take a long time. This won't work. Lin Huan shook his head. If you practice like this, the efficiency will be too slow. If you reach the bronze level, the magic power required to break through will definitely be more. In that case, there would be no time to rush to the silver level before the exams at top universities. We must find ways to increase the speed of cultivation. To improve the speed of cultivation, we can only start from 4 aspects: magic, meditation, skills, talents. Now there is a magic card for magic, so there is no need to worry. Meditation and cultivation techniques are both epic level. Now it is impossible to change to legendary level. After all, legendary level magic skills are not available. The only thing that can be achieved is to improve one's own talent. Lin Huan vaguely felt that his talent seemed to be about to reach a higher level. If you bind a few more legendary magic cards, you can break through to another level. But none of the legendary magic cards in his hand are to his liking. As for the epic magic cards, he doesn't like it. Lin Huan touched his chin. It seems that I need to get some blank magic cards. After thinking for a while, he decided to hunt monsters to obtain blank magic cards. It's just a good time to grind out the 2 newly obtained magic cards. There is no doubt that there will also be an assessment of strength in the examinations of top universities. He didn't want to lose out because he had no combat experience. Therefore, it is essential to go to the space cracks or the secret realm of federal autonomy to experience. After making the decision, Lin Huan began to think about which space rift would be better for him to go to. The medium-sized ones definitely won't work. With my current strength, it would be too dangerous to go to the medium-sized space cracks. You can only pick a small space crack. While Lin Huan was thinking, an uninvited guest came outside Lin Huan's villa. Looking at the 4-story, extremely grandly decorated villa in front of him, Lu Ziken's eyes were full of jealousy. Along the way, the greenery, air, property attitude, spacious and bright villas in this community, everything here severely stimulated Lu Ziken's fragile nerves. He couldn't understand why Lin Huan could live in such a paradise-like place. Why can you, Lin Huan, live in a 4-story villa? But I, Lu Ziken, was kicked out of my house and became a bereaved dog. I, Lu Ziken, will become a powerful card magician in the future. This kind of place should belong to me, Lu Ziken. Suddenly, he laughed silently, his expression distorted. Haha, you Lin Huan can only enjoy this. I'll make you lose it all right now. So what if you draw a legendary magic card? The one who laughs last is me, Lu Ziken. Standing at the door, he gradually calmed down his emotions, put a fake smile on his face again, and reached out to knock on the door of the villa. Why is he here? Through the electronic cat's eyes, Lin Huan saw that the person coming was Lu Ziken, and was a little surprised. In school, he and Lu Ziken didn't deal with each other, and they even mocked each other on the day of the card drawing ceremony. However, the moment they drew the legendary magic card, they were no longer in the same world. He didn't expect to trouble Lu Ziken, but he didn't expect Lu Ziken to come to his door. Come in. When guests came to visit, he would naturally not be so cautious as to leave Lu Ziken outside. He was also curious as to why Lu Ziken was looking for him. Crossing the outer gate of the villa, Lu Ziken's eyes almost turned red when he saw the large green grass in the yard. A bare lawn is already 4 times the size of his house. He forced himself to calm down and walked into the villa. The first thing you notice when you look at the living room is that it is spacious and bright. The decoration looks exquisite and gorgeous. You can tell at a glance that it is the work of a design master. When he thought about his pitiful little living room, which was less than 10 square meters, it was just a bare rectangle with no decorations, he felt even more jealous. Although he was filled with jealousy, he remained expressionless and impassive on the surface. Why, didn't you threaten to beat me up before, and now you're here? Lin Huan looked at him with a half-smile and teased. Lu Ziken had an embarrassed expression on his face. He laughed dryly. What happened before was my fault, and I apologize to you. You have drawn the legendary magic card. You will definitely be admitted to a top university and become a big shot in the Federation. Your future is bright. How dare I provoke you again? If it weren't for my sister's incident this time, I wouldn't want to come here. Hearing Lu Ziken's flattery, Lin Huan smiled casually. He had heard such words many times before. Only, he was a little confused about the sister Lu Ziken mentioned. He had never heard of Lu Ziken having a sister before. Your sister? My sister's name is Lu Sha Sha. She is the little girl who sold you flowers on the day of the magic card activation ceremony. It turns out to be her. Lin Huan didn't expect that the little girl turned out to be Lu Ziken's sister. In fact, the 2 personalities are so different that they don't look like brother and sister at all. What happened to your sister? He asked Lu Ziken. My sister went to the Black Swamp to collect magic flowers. It's been a few days and she hasn't come back. I looked for him but couldn't find him. I'm worried that she mistakenly entered the Crimson Realm. You know, the land reclamation team of Tianming City will not take care of this situation when you accidentally enter the secret realm. Although I have 2 rare cards with me, my strength is too weak and I can't go far in the secret realm. Therefore, I want to ask you for help. After hearing the whole story, Lin Huan nodded. The demon Changhua is indeed a specialty plant of the Black Swamp, and the Red Melt secret realm is a small space crack, very close to the black swamp. If you are not careful, you may fall into it. Seeing that Lin Huan did not agree immediately, Lu Ziken became anxious. Is his sister not so important in Lin Huan's heart? No, if Lin still doesn't agree to go to Churong's secret realm, the Red Moon sect will definitely kill me. Thinking of this, Lu Ziken's eyes suddenly turned red, his face showed sadness, and he begged. Lin Huan, I know that I have offended you a lot in the past. It's normal that you don't want to help, but I really can't find anyone else to save my sister. As long as you can agree to it, my sister, I will kneel down for you. After saying that, Lu Ziken made a gesture of kneeling down. However, a voice stopped him from kneeling. I agreed. Lin Huan is not a saint, and he certainly did not agree to Lu Ziken's request because he pitied him. But because of Lu Sha Sha, although he and Lu Sha Sha only met once, he really liked the little girl who went out to make money at such a young age. The most important thing is that where Lu Sha Sha disappeared, there is the Churong secret realm, which is a small space crack. It is just the place where you can hunt some monsters and harvest some blank magic cards. After killing 2 birds with 1 stone, he agreed to Lu Ziken's request. Otherwise, even if Lu Ziken kneels to him until death, he will not agree. But I have to tell you in advance that I can only do my best regarding your sister. There is no guarantee that I will be able to find Lu Sha Sha. A little girl of 12 or 13 years old fell into a secret realm for several days, and her life and death are still unknown. Even if all the land reclamation teams and patrol teams in Tianmeng City went to find Lu Sha Sha, they might not be able to get it. He, Lin Huan, can't guarantee that he will be able to find it, he just wants to be clear in his heart. I know that. I'm very grateful that you are willing to go. Lu Ziken nodded gratefully, but he was secretly happy in his heart. As long as Lin Huan can be tricked into the Churong secret realm and the remaining things can be handed over to the Red Moon sect. Half an hour later, Black Marsh. It seems that Lu Sha Sha is no longer in the Black Swamp. Lin Huan frowned and said. He and Lu Ziken had just searched around the Black Swamp and didn't see anyone. It seems that we can only go to Churong's secret realm to have a look. Lin Huan said to Lu Ziken, not too optimistic about finding Lu Sha Sha. A little girl of 12 or 13 years old has spent several days in a space crack, and the chance of being alive is already very slim. Well, Lu Ziken pretended to be very worried about his sister. But he was sneering in his heart, so what if you, Lin Huan, drew the legendary magic card? You are treated like a fool by me, Lu Ziken. Let's go to Churong's secret realm quickly. Soon something changed, and Lu Ziken urged. Lin Huan nodded. The 2 of them walked towards the Churong secret realm together. As a result, as soon as they left the Black Swamp, they ran into several mud-like monsters. This monster is all red, and the scorching heat emanating from them can be felt from a distance. Seeing these monsters, Lu Ziken was shocked and angry. This is a monster that only exists in the Churong secret realm, the Churong mud monster. It looks like a monster made of mud, but it can emit scorching heat, with the temperature reaching up to several hundred degrees. The red melt mud monsters also noticed Lu Ziken and the 2 of them, and squirmed towards them. Although they have no legs, they are not slow. Seeing that the battle was inevitable, Lu Ziken gritted his teeth, took out a magic card with a faint green light, and threw it in the air. Suddenly, Mocha turned into a blue-white wolf. There was no difference in size from an ordinary wolf, except that its limbs were thicker than an ordinary wolf. Qingfeng wolf, come on. The Qingfeng wolf used all 4 legs to rush towards one of the red melt mud monsters. Compared with the speed of the Qingfeng wolf, the speed of the red molten mud monster cave is almost the same as crawling at a snail. Lu Ziken was overjoyed as he bit the red melt mud monster with 1 bite. However, before he could be happy for a while, Qingfeng wolf jumped far away, and the 2 front paws and bloody mouth that had just caught the red molten mud monster were exuding a mushy smell. The white hair on it turned black. Qingfeng wolf, Lu Ziken suddenly exclaimed. He didn't expect that his rare level subordinate would suffer such a big loss in just one encounter. The place where the red melt mud monster was bitten did not look the same. He took out a magic card from his arms again and threw it in the air. The magic card suddenly turned into a cyan whirlpool, shooting towards the red melt mud monster like a green electric drill. This is his only rare magic card, a wind-type skill magic card. Although it consumes a lot of magic power, its attack power is outstanding, especially it is very effective against such a monster with good defense. Just one contact left a big hole in the red melt mud monster, but that was all. Qingfeng Wolf, take this opportunity to attack his weakness and kill it. After hearing the order, although Qingfeng Lang didn't want to go, he couldn't resist the master's order. I had to pounce on him. Although the red melt mud monster was seriously injured, it still resisted for a long time before being bitten to death by the Qingfeng Wolf. Even during this period, he used many ordinary level magic cards as support. Now, he has no magic left in him. He took back Qingfeng Wolf, who had no good spot on his body and whose white hair had all turned black. He turned around with a slight breath and looked towards Lin Huan. Facing a red melt mud monster, he almost exhausted all his means before he managed to kill it. And Lin Huan just took the initiative to take over 7 other red melt mud monsters. Come to think of it, even if he had a legendary magic card, it wouldn't be so easy. After all, the strength of the red melt mud monster is the 8 stars of black iron. As for Lin Huan, he only had 6 black iron stars during the magic card activation ceremony. In such a short period of time, he could cultivate up to 7 black iron stars, which was the same level as Lu Ziken, and he could face 7 red melt mud monsters with 8 black iron stars at the same time. Come to think of it, it must be very embarrassing. However, when he saw clearly the situation on Lin Huan's side, his eyes widened. I saw that the 7 red melt mud monsters that Lin Huan was dealing with were being held by several big green hands. Continuously throwing them into the air, the 7 red melt mud monsters were rubbed and played with like balls. Lu Ziken could clearly see that these big cyan hands were essentially composed of airflow, just like the skill card he used. In other words, the skill card used by Lin Huan is also of the wind type. When I think about the fact that they are both wind skill cards, my wind skill card will at most leave a hole in the body of the red mud monster, but Lin Huan's wind skill card can play with these red mud monsters at will. And he played with 7 of them at once. This huge gap made his eyes red with envy. When you enter the Churong secret realm, I will let you kneel on the ground and hold the magic card in your hands. Lin Huan on the side watched Lu Ziken finally get rid of the red mud monster and stopped delaying it. A thought came to my mind. The 7 big cyan hands collided together and turned into a cyan tornado with a radius of 2 to 3 meters. In the blink of an eye, the 7 red melt mud monsters were chopped into pieces. The ground where the tornado had ravaged was not as badly damaged as the last time we faced Zhang Chen. Instead, it was smoother. Seeing the 7 blank magic cards that fell out, Lin Huan nodded with satisfaction. He just saw that Lu Ziken couldn't solve it in a short time. I just want to try my newly obtained skill card, riding the wind and waves. After using it, he can control the power and shape of the tornado more precisely. Okay, let's go. After greeting Lu Ziken, he took the lead in walking towards the Churong secret realm. Soon, Lin Huan came to the entrance of Churong secret realm, and the space here was shattered like a mirror. The entrance was surrounded by burnt yellow. Before entering, I felt bursts of heat penetrating from the space on the other side. Seeing this, Lin Huan recalled the information about Churong secret realm. The Churong secret realm is a very extreme fire-based secret realm. In the wind secret realms and other spaces, one attribute is dominant, and other attributes are supplementary. But the Churong secret realm only has fire and earth attributes, and because the topography inside is full of volcanoes, the fire attributes in the Churong secret realm are overwhelming. And because of the extreme environment of this secret realm, there are not many biological species that can survive in it, and the number is also very small. Of course, this is rarely the case for other secret realms. Taking a breath, Lin Huan said to Lu Ziken, "Let's go." After feeling dizzy for a while, Lin Huan finally felt that his feet were on the ground. The dizziness went away quickly. Lin Huan raised his head and looked at the surrounding environment. I found myself halfway up a small volcano. Not far away, there was the shadow of a giant volcano. Although it was not in front of him, Lin Huan knew that the giant volcano was at least several thousand meters high. That is the center of the entire Churong secret realm. Churong secret realm is not big, and the giant volcano can be seen from anywhere. Start looking for your sister. The two began to look for Lu Sha Sha outside the Churong secret realm. As we all know, the closer you go to the center of the secret realm, the more dangerous it becomes. Therefore, if Lu Sha Sha accidentally falls into the secret realm, he will usually stay outside and wait for rescue. And while they were looking for Lu Sha Sha, not far away, behind a piece of earth and stone, two people were spying on them covertly. Both men were wearing black robes with a red waning moon pattern on them. The shorter one among them glanced at Lin Huan's back, sat back, and asked with some confusion. "Qi, why do you think the bishop wanted to pay attention to Lin Huan? Even if he draws the legendary magic card, it won't cost our Blood Moon sect so much effort. Besides, I heard that the city lord of Tianmeng City is very optimistic about Lin Huan. If we capture such a genius, we will definitely attract the attention of the Federation." Another member of the Blood Moon sect sneered. "Our Blood Moon cult has always been wanted by the Federation, so we have no idea what we are not paying attention to. Besides, this action will directly destroy this secret realm. At that time, no matter how little the Federation pays no attention to this secret realm, it will definitely trigger a federal investigation. Especially after they know that we have stolen the most precious thing from the Scarlet Wrong secret realm, they will definitely not give up hunting down our Blood Moon sect. Then the movement will be even greater. It's nothing to kidnap a Lin Huan. Because the Churong secret realm is small and has few monsters, even if a few monsters run out occasionally, they usually won't cause much damage. The Federation didn't find anything valuable inside. If it weren't for the fact that there were indeed some monsters inside, it would have been rated as an abandoned secret realm. Therefore, the Federation did not even arrange the most basic monitoring, which allowed two high school seniors, Lin Huan and Lu Ziken, to come in so easily. And, she paused, and then said again, "It seems that Lin Huan's legendary magic card is not as simple as imagined. Isn't it just a brand new race? As time goes by, even new races will have their weaknesses discovered." The short man curled his lips, disapproving of Qi's words. Hearing this, Qi shook his head, a trace of doubt flashing in his eyes. "No, not just a new race. I was at the scene when he was fighting the Qingfeng birds. That legendary subordinate was much stronger than the ordinary legendary subordinates, and that legendary subordinate gave me a very special feeling. Although I can't explain it clearly, but it was because of that feeling that I suggested the bishop plot Lin Huan's magic card." "Really, I don't believe it." Hearing what Qi said here was so mysterious. The short man disagreed and thought it was just an illusion. Qi also shook his head at his companion's attitude. He knows that words are pale and facts speak louder than words. You'll know when he summons that legendary subordinate. After scanning around the perimeter of the Churong secret realm, Lin Huan looked a little solemn. It seems that Lu Sha Sha is in the central area of Churong's secret realm. Otherwise, he would have already found it in the circle he just scanned. But it shouldn't be. Logically speaking, Lu Sha Sha would not be so stupid as not to know that the central area of the secret realm is more dangerous than the outer periphery. That is common sense that any child in the Federation knows. Then there is only one possibility. That is, she was forced to enter the central area under some force majeure circumstances. If that were the case, the chances of survival would be slim. If there is nothing on the outside, you can only go into the central area to look for it. Regarding Lin Huan's proposal, Lu Ziken was naturally willing to accept it. He wished that Lin Huan would get better as he went further inside. Without any more nonsense, the two began to explore the depths of the Churong secret realm. Behind them, the two followers of the Blood Moon sect also followed secretly. There are also many monsters along the way. But the strongest monster has only 9 black iron stars. Monsters of this level are no longer Lin Huan's enemy. He and Lu Ziken arrived at the foot of the giant volcano. Only then was he finally stopped by a monster. Seeing this scene, the short man who had been following him suddenly clapped his hands. "Qi, look, Lin Huan encountered a red monster." Qi's expression was very calm, and he said to the short man, "Look, Lin Huan will definitely use that legendary subordinate card. When the time comes, you will know whether what I said is true." Hearing this, the short man stared at Lin Huan's movements carefully through the telescope. Under his gaze, Lin Huan in the distance was looking solemnly at the sudden obstacle in front of him, and took out a magic card that exuded orange light. The monster in front of me is no different in appearance from the Crimson Mud Monster, but it is several times larger in size. He is nearly 10 meters tall. It was like a red hill blocking Lin Huan and Lu Ziken. Feeling the pressure of huge magic power that exceeds the limit of black iron level, Lu Ziken swallowed hard, took out the magic card with his trembling right hand, and summoned the Qingfeng wolf. Although Qingfeng wolf's frightened appearance looked worse than him, at least it felt a little more secure around him. Lin Huan's expression was completely opposite to Lu Ziken's. Although his expression was solemn, his movements were still methodical. With the legendary magic card between his fingertips, he threw it out without hesitation. Immediately, the elf princess Felice stepped out of the orange light. "Master, no need to be polite, just start fighting," Lin Huan said in a deep voice after stopping Felice's time-wasting action. Hearing this, Phyllis did not hesitate and directly stretched out her hand to summon the emerald green elf longbow. Whoosh! A stream of light shot out. With such a fat body, Phyllis can shoot even with her eyes closed, not to mention his terrifying archery skills unique to the elves. However, although this arrow was fast and accurate, it was stuck after just one arrow. Seeing this scene, Phyllis looked a little surprised. Obviously, he didn't expect that his arrow would only achieve this result. Although this was a very casual arrow, as an elf princess and future elf queen, her archery skills cannot be described as superb. This arrow was aimed at the Crimson Monster's physical weakness, but it only broke through the defense. Seeing this scene, Lin Huan was very satisfied. This red melt monster is not simple. From its appearance alone, we can tell that the red melt monster is actually the most advanced form of the red melt mud monster. Its body is not made of flesh and blood like ordinary monsters, but is composed of a strange ingredient, and its body has a kind of elasticity. Ordinary sharp weapons can't even break through the skin of the Crimson Fusion monster, but Felice can break through the defense with a casual arrow, which is already very surprising. Of course, the main reason is that Lin Huan himself is too weak. If Phyllis had bronze-level strength, even if it was only the lowest level of 1-star bronze, she could instantly kill the Crimson Monster. The power of legendary subordinates is not something to be boasted about. It's a pity that her strength is limited by Lin Huan. Now she is at most stronger than the ordinary black iron 9 stars, but she is still far from the bronze level. Be careful, this red melt monster is definitely more powerful than the black iron 9 stars. Lin Huan reminded. Then the movement begins. Being able to break through the Crimson Monster's defense means that it can cause damage to him. In this case, as long as it takes long enough, it can be delayed to death. He didn't believe that one of his high-quality magic cards couldn't kill a Crimson Monster. Lin Huan and Felice were on the left and right, sandwiching the Crimson Monster in the middle. A cyan light lit up in his eyes, and Lin Huan raised his hand. A stream of cyan air began to rotate, forming a drill-like shape. This was the inspiration he got from seeing the magic card used by Lu Ziken. With the help of riding the wind and waves, it was successfully achieved. But the power of the skill he imitated is completely different from Lu Ziken's skill card. The size alone is more than 10 times that of Lu Ziken's skills. The size of the bottom of the drill bit is larger than Lin Huan's entire body. Phyllis. Now, the green drill whizzed towards the back of the Crimson Monster, and in the same direction as this position, a green arrow wrapped in pure magic power shot toward the front of the Crimson Monster. One is a legendary skill card, and the other is a legendary subordinate attack. The momentum of the two attacks was completely opposite. Although the cyan drill was only the size of a person at first, when it got close to the Crimson Monster, it was already as big as the 10-meter-tall Crimson Monster. A deep ravine was left in the hard volcanic stone. If Lin Huan's attack can be said to be massive, but Felice's attack was low-key and deadly. The arrow was like a fish swimming in the sea, not even the blue afterimage could be seen, only the scream of the air being suddenly torn apart could be heard. Almost as soon as Felice released her fingers, the arrow arrived in front of the Crimson Monster. Almost at the same time, the two attacks hit the Crimson Monster accurately, one after the other. However, facts have proven that not just a massive attack will be effective. Such two terrifying attacks did not cause much damage to the red melt monster. The blue drill bits were like thousands of knives, frantically slicing the skin of the Crimson Fusion monster, but could only leave shallow wounds on its body. Although the arrows were completely immersed in it, the Crimson Fusion monster still had no wounds. Anything unusual? It was as if he had not been injured by the arrow. Lin Huan frowned. He didn't expect that this would not cause any substantial harm to the Crimson monster. It is worthy of being a bronze-level ferocious beast, one level higher than myself. It's a bit tricky. Phyllis, continue. Through the telescope, seeing Lin Huan's performance against the red monster, the short man nodded with a little admiration in his tone. This Lin Huan is indeed a genius that only emerges from Tianmeng City in hundreds of years. The Crimson monster's strength is at least bronze 6-star. Even if we go together, we are no match. Lin Huan faced the Crimson monster, but he didn't show any fear at all. His tactics were also very appropriate. It's really good. Quote. In comparison, that Lu Ziken is such a loser, he's almost scared to death. Hearing his companion's words, Qi sneered. Who is Lu Ziken, who can be compared with Lin Huan? If he hadn't dedicated his sister to us and is still of some use now, he wouldn't even be qualified to join our Blood Moon sect. The short man nodded with deep understanding. Although the Blood Moon sect cannot see the light of day, they are still wanted by the Federation. On the surface, they can only live like a lost dog. But not everyone can enter. Lu Ziken, a person with only 2 junk rare cards, would not be qualified to join the Blood Moon sect if he had not sold his sister. But I haven't experienced the feeling you mentioned about the legendary subordinate you mentioned. Moreover, they have both been beaten by the Crimson monster. Is this legendary subordinate really as strong as you say? Hearing this, Qi couldn't help but start to waver in his heart. Was it really just my illusion before? Look again, look again. Felice's current behavior made him doubt what he said in the first place. However, although Lin Huan performed very well, he has no chance of winning against the Crimson monster. Qi, should we go over to rescue him? If Lin Huan dies, we won't be able to get his legendary magic card. After hesitating for a moment, Qi nodded. No rush, I remember Lin Huan also has a skill card that can restore magic power. It won't be too late for us to take action after he uses it. Otherwise, if we attack now, he will still have the strength to resist. However, you can prepare in advance to avoid being so far away and unable to rescue later. The short man nodded. Both of them took out a magic card with a faint blue light from their arms. On the front of the magic card is a picture of a strange bird, which is a flying object. This is why they dare to speak out about rescuing Lin Huan even though they only have 5 bronze stars. Looking at the Crimson monster still squirming in front of him, Lin Huan took 2 deep breaths. Both he and Phyllis had been bombarding things for more than half an hour. As a result, the red melt monster was still blocking him like a mountain. It's so bloody. Phyllis, again, just when Lin Huan was about to call Felice to attack. The originally dark red body of the red melt monster suddenly became brighter, and the hill-like body seemed to have turned into a small sun. Lin Huan couldn't help but stretched out his hand to block the bright light. But this bright light suddenly disappeared in an instant, and even the originally dark red body of the red melt monster became dark. Seeing this strange scene, Lin Huan's pupils shrank suddenly. He hurriedly took out a magic card and threw it into the air. Suddenly, an ancient tree tens of meters high appeared out of thin air, and its roots took root underground in an instant. Even hard volcanic rocks could not withstand its roots. The ancient elf tree, activate natural protection. Bring Felice and Lu Ziken in. As you command. 2 thick branches stretched out, pulling Felice and Lu Ziken, who were still confused, into the range of natural protection. The moment the 2 of them entered the emerald green barrier, red light occupied the world. The dazzling light left Lin Huan's eyes only filled with red. In the distance, the short member couldn't help but exclaimed when he saw Lin Huan's operation. This Lin Huan is simply a genius in combat. I actually used my ancient tree subordinate to resist the incineration of the Crimson Melt monster. Even the 2 of us with 5 bronze stars can only barely resist this move. Qi, are you sure it was the legendary subordinate you thought was stronger before and not Lin Huan himself? Qi smiled bitterly. I'm not so sure now. Suddenly, the short man said, by the way, why do we have to steal his legendary magic card? Can't we lure him to the Blood Moon sect? I think Lin Huan himself is more worthy of our investment than that legendary subordinate. Shaking his head, Qi directly rejected his companion's idea. It's impossible. Lin Huan has a legendary magic card, and at such a young age he has already reached the level of Black Iron 9 stars. He is very likely to be admitted to a top university this year. How can someone who has the chance to be admitted to a top university fall in love with our Blood Moon sect? You just said it was a temptation yourself. Is there anything our Blood Moon sect can't offer that top universities can't offer? After hearing this, the short man nodded and agreed with Qi's words. He spoke with some regret. Then there's nothing we can do. Since we can't become a member of the cult, we can only snatch his legendary card. Okay, Lin Huan can't hold on for long, let's get ready to rescue him. Above the ancient elf tree, Lin Huan could finally see things clearly. After discovering that he was safe and sound, he looked up at the ancient elf tree. I saw that the ancient elf tree that was originally tens of meters high and required 10 people to hug it, now only had a thin layer of bark left and was less than 10 meters high. This remaining layer of bark tightly protects them. No harm was done to them. Master, are you okay? I'm fine, the ancient elf tree is full of vitality. As Lin Huan finished speaking, he only heard a buzzing sound coming from under his feet. That was the sound caused by the roots of the ancient elf tree growing downwards. And its originally charred bark suddenly emitted an emerald green light. Visible to the naked eye, green buds began to sprout from all over the bark. Then, it quickly grows into a thick branch. However, in just 10 seconds, the ancient elf tree was completely restored. Even, it is a bit stronger than before. Standing on the branch, Lin Huan looked at the red monster not far away. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. Phyllis, don't hold back, cooperate with the elf ancient tree to kill this monster. Although the ancient elf tree was restored by Felice's elf magic, it does not mean that the damage just now has been erased. Yes, Master. Phyllis also has beautiful eyes. The crimson monster not far away saw the restored ancient elf tree, and its fat body began to tremble continuously. He seemed very angry. Then, his body became bright again, like a little sun. In the ancient tree space of the elf ancient tree, Lu Ziken saw this scene. Suddenly he was so frightened that he sat down on the ground. He hadn't participated in the battle just now, and he had been hiding behind Lin Huan. The red monster was always awake when using burning. So he clearly knows the power of burning and the precursors to its use. Seeing this scene happen again, I fell to the ground with fear. Why haven't the people from the Red Moon sect come yet? If I don't come again, I'm going to die. Don't you want the legendary magic card on Lin Huan too? Lu Ziken held his head, his heart full of fear of death. Although this ancient tree follower had just withstood the burning of the Crimson Wrong monster, in Lu Ziken's view, it was absolutely impossible for Lin Huan to defeat the Crimson Wrong monster. After all, Lin Huan had just tried his best and could only barely defend. The damage dealt has no effect at all on the Crimson monster. While Lu Ziken kept praying in his heart for the arrival of the Red Moon sect, Lin Huan squinted his eyes and looked at the crimson monster in the distance. After 2 baptisms of strong light, he had adapted to the light emitted by the red fusion monster. Seeing that the red melt monster wanted to activate burning again, he snorted coldly. I suffered a loss from you once, how could there be a second time? The ancient elf tree, wrap it with vines. Suddenly, hundreds of thick tree vines moved towards the red melting monster. The seemingly endless tree vines trapped the red fusion monster tightly, and the strong light emitted from its body was completely drowned by the tree vines. A few seconds passed. The tree vines that bound the red melt monster turned black at an extremely fast speed. Continue. Hundreds of tree vines headed towards the crimson monster. A full minute passed. Only then did the tree vines stop turning black. Elven ancient tree, capture him. Dozens of tree vines were immediately untied, leaving only 2 or 3 knotted in knots, firmly fixing the red melt monster in one position. See the red melt monster showing its figure. Lin Huan's eyes flashed sharply and he said to Felice, Felice, don't hold back. When he had just rolled the cyan tornado into a cyan drill, he realized that this slow-moving red melt monster was an excellent sandbag. So I told Felice that there was no need to use skills, just drain her blood slowly. In this case, he has enough time to count this power. As a result, the crimson monster's burning almost caught him off guard, if not for the slow release of burning. He almost rolled over. Now, he doesn't want to hold back anymore. Coming behind Felice, he put his hands on Felice's shoulders that were as smooth as mud and fat jade. Although she didn't understand the meaning of Lin Huan's action, Phyllis didn't ask, she just used archery. Draw a bow and set an arrow. Just when she let go of the arrow, she felt a force attaching to the arrow from Lin Huan's hand on her shoulder. An arrow shot out. When the arrow first came out, there was only a hazy blue light on it. This is a symbol of the magic floating above. However, as the arrow flew out, the cyan cyclone began to appear. At first it was just a very faint circle, but later it became more and more obvious and its scale became larger and larger. Driven by this force, the arrows actually began to rotate. The cyan cyclone turned bigger and bigger, and when it was in front of the crimson monster, it was no longer smaller than the crimson monster. Just as it approached, the crimson monster began to squirm uneasily. But the vines of the ancient elf tree held him tightly, preventing him from escaping. Compared to the arrows Felice had shot before, the arrows wrapped in a cyan cyclone were even faster. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared into the body of the red melting monster. Suddenly, the red melt monster's body suddenly stiffened. Then he let out a shocking roar. The body began to squirm crazily, but no matter how hard it struggled, it could not escape the control of the ancient elf tree. A huge cavity with a diameter of 1 meter was opened in its belly. The wall of this cavity seemed to have been chopped by thousands of knives, and it was broken into pieces. Looking through this hole, I saw a terrifying big hole appearing on the ground behind the red fusion monster. Bottomless. Although this arrow would not directly kill the crimson monster, it was definitely severely injured. Felice's eyes were full of shock when she saw the huge wounds on the crimson monster's body. Why is it so powerful? Although she used the skill of elven archery for this arrow, it was definitely not as powerful as his ordinary archery. The only thing that can be explained is the power Lin Huan just possessed. Seeing the scream of the red monster, the corners of Lin Huan's mouth slowly raised. He had just attached the power of the storm to Felice's arrow. Legendary skill cards and legendary subordinate skills. The combination of the two created this terrifying blow. Lin Huan believed that, combined with Felice's god-level shooting skills, creatures below bronze 6 stars, whether they are monsters or card masters, cannot withstand this arrow. Phyllis, go on. Yes, master. With the help of Lin Huan, every arrow of Felice can now cause great damage to the crimson monster. Even if the red melt monster can resist, it can't withstand it. After a while, the screams of the red melt monster gradually weakened, and then became completely silent. Until it was determined that the red melt monster was completely dead. Lin Huan then took his hand off Felice's shoulder and felt relieved. No matter how you say it, there is still a big difference in level, and the strength of the crimson monster should not be underestimated. If he hadn't owned so many top-quality magic cards, any black iron level card magician would have suffered the fate of being in such a situation. Fortunately, this difficult guy was finally killed. When Lu Ziken, who was hiding behind the ancient elf tree, saw this scene, his face turned pale, and he couldn't believe what was happening in front of him. A bronze-level monster died like this. Although he didn't know how strong the crimson monster was, he was sure that the crimson monster was definitely more than just a monster from the black iron 9 stars. A black iron level card magician has only one choice when facing a bronze level monster, and that is to run. However, not only did Lin Huan not run away, but he actually jumped into the challenge and successfully killed him. Crossing a large level, he single-handedly killed bronze-level monsters with black iron-level strength. As a card magician of the black iron 7 stars, Lu Ziken only understands how terrifying the bronze level is. It is absolutely impossible for a black iron card master to defeat a bronze-level monster. This is the conclusion reached by the strength of countless black iron magic card masters in Tianmeng City for hundreds of years. There were never any surprises. As a result, Lin Huan actually broke this conclusion. Is this the strength of the legendary magic card? Lu Ziken gritted his teeth and clenched his fist tightly. His eyes turned red again when he looked at Lin Huan's back. Not only him, but the two Blood Moon sect members also couldn't believe what they saw. Both of them held a magic card emitting blue light between their fingertips. Just now, they saw Lin Huan holding on to the crimson monsters burning. Finally, it was obvious that the oil had run out. But the crimson monster on the opposite side is in full condition. Obviously, Lin Huan has lost. Just when they were preparing to go to the rescue. What happened next shattered their understanding. The ancient elf tree, which was originally a dead tree, instantly returned to its original shape, and was even much stronger than its original body of dozens of meters. And that Felice's arrow was several times more powerful than before. The power and speed have reached an incredible level. In just a few arrows, the red melt monster was killed. These two people couldn't believe it. Chi, you, pinch me quickly, am I dreaming? The short red moon cultist rubbed his somewhat stiff chin. He had just watched Lin Huan defeat the crimson monster. His mouth opened wide in surprise, and he closed it after a long time. You read that right, Lin Huan did kill the crimson monster. This Lin Huan, really? Saying this with difficulty, Chi's eyes were also full of disbelief. Lin Huan's performance was beyond his understanding. He no longer knew what words to use to describe it. I originally thought that Lin Huan had a legendary subordinate, and it would be great to be able to defeat monsters below bronze 3 stars, but I didn't expect. And it was still at a disadvantage at the beginning. The ancient tree subordinates were already in such a miserable state. I didn't expect that they would kill the crimson monster in the blink of an eye. Exclaimed the short man. Immediately, a glimmer of greed flashed in his eyes. Chi, I agree with you now. Lin Huan's legendary subordinate is indeed much stronger than ordinary legendary subordinates. We must get that legendary magic card. Chi was not surprised by the change in attitude of his companions. It's perfectly normal for him to have this reaction. In the past, there were talented young men in the Federation who drew legendary level magic cards, but at most they were able to kill bronze 3-star monsters. The red monster Lin Huan killed was a bronze 6-star. The most important thing is that when Lin Huan killed the red monster, he looked relaxed and content, but he obviously didn't use his full strength. But Chi sneered at his words. Hey, are you still thinking about succeeding? With the strength Lin Huan just showed, neither of us combined can beat him. You still want to get the legendary magic card in his hand? Dream. This mission has already failed. Just keep an eye on it. Now just ask Lin Huan not to discover our Blood Moon sect's plan. Hearing this, the short man sighed and nodded, feeling a little regretful. Started to continue to monitor Lin Huan. The other side. Lin Huan picked up the blank magic card that fell from the corpse of the red melt monster. This blank magic card looks very different from the magic card dropped by killing Qingfeng bird before. First of all, in terms of style, the pattern on the back of this blank magic card is exclusive to the fire magic card. There are 2 very light red lines on this pattern. This is the symbol of the second level blank magic card. There are also differences between blank magic cards. The blank magic cards dropped by black iron level monsters are level 1, while the blank magic cards dropped by bronze level monsters are level 2. The stronger the monster, the higher the level of the magic card it drops. The higher the level of blank magic cards, the higher the probability of drawing high-quality magic cards. For example, for level 2 blank magic cards, the probability of drawing a rare level magic card is obviously higher than for level 1 blank magic cards. The same goes for rare quality and above, but the probability of improvement can be simply ignored. But that's for the average person. It is very different for Lin Huan. With the buff bonus of the god level card drawing luck value, the slight increase in probability is very likely for him to draw a legendary magic card. After collecting the trophies, Phyllis suddenly leaned into his ear. Master, I sense that the person in the ancient tree space has strong malice towards you. Well, I know this. Lin Huan nodded. Lu Ziken was jealous when he saw that he had collected so many high-quality magic cards, but he only had 2 rare cards. The imbalance of mentality is certain, especially since the 2 of them had conflicts in school before. If it weren't for Lu Sha Sha, I'm afraid Lu Ziken would never take the initiative to appear in front of him in this life. Also, there are 2 people spying on us in the distance. They have been there since I was first summoned. Oh. Hearing this, Lin Huan raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect that there was someone next to him who had been peeping at him, and they were there from the beginning. He narrowed his eyes and whispered to Phyllis, "Pretend you don't know, and move closer over there naturally." At the same time, he gave an order to the ancient elf tree in his heart. "Elven ancient tree, Lu Ziken is not allowed to be released without my order." "As you command, my master." Halfway up another volcano. The short man complained to Chi, "It's too boring to stare at him here. Can't we go directly to the volcano?" "No." Chi shook his head. He said to him, "We have to prevent Lin Huan from going up the mountain here, otherwise, with his current strength, he will have an impact on our plan." "What a troublesome thing," the short man muttered. "I told you a long time ago that I shouldn't have gone to such great lengths to deal with him, but now I'm stuck here instead." Regarding the complaints from his companions, Chi also remained silent. After all, it was he who suggested taking away Lin Huan's legendary magic card. Suddenly, he frowned. Whether it was an illusion or not, he felt that Lin Huan and Felice were getting closer to them. "Maybe I'm thinking too much." Lin Huan and Felice pretended to be looking for Lu Sha Sha's whereabouts, and slowly approached the two Blood Moon cultists. "Phyllis, how far are you from those two people?" "Master, there are still more than 200 meters away." "More than 200 meters. No need to pretend, just rush over." After the words fell, Lin Huan and Felice were surrounded by green wind, and their speed increased sharply. He rushed towards the two Blood Moon cult believers. In just a moment, the distance has been shortened by dozens of meters. Seeing this, Chi was immediately shocked. He didn't expect that Lin Huan actually discovered him. He hurriedly said, "Oops, Nai, Lin Huan and the others have discovered us, run." The Blood Moon sect has always been in pursuit. After hearing Chi's words, the short man jumped up like a reflex, took out a magic card from his arms and threw it out. A strange bird rushed out of the hazy blue light. The two Blood Moon cultists hurriedly jumped on the back of the strange bird and urged the strange bird to fly towards the sky. Just a while after they took off, Lin Huan arrived at the place where they were lurking before. Lin Huan only spent more than 200 meters in just 4 seconds. Seeing Lin Huan on the ground, who could only look up and watch them leave, Nai felt a little proud and shouted, "Lin Huan, although you are very powerful, you are not yet a gold level expert. It is still 20,000 years too early to catch up with us." Without the flying subordinates and his strength not reaching gold level, Lin Huan would not be able to fly, so he could only watch them leave. Looking up at the strange bird in the sky, Lin Huan sneered. "Ha, you've been watching the show for a long time and you want to leave like this. Phyllis, catch up." As he spoke, his eyes glowed brightly. A green tornado suddenly appeared under his feet and lifted him up. In just a short moment, he flew 10 meters away. And Phyllis's performance was even more amazing. She clasped her hands together, and endless emerald green light suddenly gathered behind her, and finally turned into a pair of wings. After lightly flapping twice, he chased the strange bird at a speed not inferior to Lin Huan. Seeing Lin Huan flying, the subordinate directly transformed into a pair of wings. Nai was suddenly startled. This Lin Huan can actually fly. Moonlight bird, fly faster. Lin Huan raised his eyebrows when he saw the strange bird's speed increasing again. A faint green light lit up in his hand, and he suddenly raised his head towards the strange bird. Suddenly, a frantic air flow rushed towards the strange bird. I saw that the strange bird that was flying well seemed to be disturbed. The body suddenly became shaky, and the two Blood Moon cultists on its back almost fell off. The speed also suddenly slowed down. But soon, the strange bird's figure returned to stability, and its speed increased again. However, even though it was only such a short period of time, Lin Huan and Felice had already covered a long distance. Seeing that the figures of the two Blood Moon cultists were clearly visible, Lin Huan's eyes suddenly flashed with a sharp light. "Phyllis, shoot that strange bird down." "Yes, master." The emerald green long bow reappeared in her hand. Phyllis clasped the arrow and pulled it into a full moon. Lin Huan waved his hand and attached the power of the storm to it again. "No, get out of here." When she saw this action, he knew that this arrow must be as terrifying as the arrow that killed the crimson monster before. If it is shot, the moon sparrow will definitely not be able to withstand it. Seeing this action, Nai was also shocked, and tried his best to send his magic power into Yuehui Bird's body, trying to avoid the arrow. However, all attempts were in vain. A stream of cyan light instantly smoothed the distance of several hundred meters between the two. It accurately hit the moon sparrow's belly. Gah! The strange bird suddenly had a big hole in its belly, screamed miserably, and was knocked back to the magic card state. The two blood moon cultists on his back were pulled by gravity and fell towards the ground. Lin Huan caught them down before they were thrown to death. Seeing Lin Huan and Felice completely blocking their escape route, they suddenly looked desperate. Lin Huan and Felice even killed the 6-star bronze red melt monster. They think they don't have this ability. After knowing that he was bound to die, Nai looked at Chi beside him and became furious. It's all you. You want to covet the legendary magic card in his hand. Is it okay now? We are all going to die. Why the hell did you choose me to carry out this mission? Why? Faced with the blame from his companions, Chi remained silent. Let him curse as much as he wants. He looked bitter and regretful in his heart. He had personally seen Lin Huan fight with that legendary subordinate, and it was because he saw that the legendary subordinate was so powerful that he became interested. But what he didn't expect was that Lin Huan and the legendary subordinate were too powerful. Not only did he kill a 6-star bronze crimson monster, he and his subordinates were also able to fly. You know, without the flying slave, flying freely in the air is the privilege of the platinum warrior. And Lin Huan is now just a black iron 9-star card magician. Okay, tell me your purpose honestly. In this way, I will make your death easier. Seeing that Nai's trend was getting worse, Lin Huan interrupted directly. Hearing this, Nai's cursing voice stopped suddenly and became as silent as Chi beside him. You look quite brave, Lin Huan sneered and said to Phyllis. Use your elven magic to hear what I want. Yes, master. Walking behind the two blood moon cultists, Phyllis's hand lit up with an emerald green light, and she tapped them lightly on the shoulders. The emerald green light began to spread from the shoulders of the two people to the entire body, and then all penetrated into the body and disappeared. The eyes of the two blood moon cult members were contemptuous. Nai disdainfully said, Is that it? We have firm beliefs. Before he could finish the rest of his words, he suddenly curled up. Mo Ran's face was completely distorted, and his whole body was instantly wet with sweat. Finally, a shrill scream came from his mouth. They even kept banging their heads on the ground in an attempt to cover up this pain with another kind of pain. Seeing the miserable looks of the two blood moon cultists, Lin Huan asked curiously. Phyllis, what did you do? He knew that Felice's elf magic could do many things, including that her previous wings were also a type of elf magic, but he didn't know the specifics. It's nothing. It just makes branches grow inside their bodies. Giving Felice a thumbs up, Lin Huan looked at the two believers rolling on the ground and spoke indifferently. If you tell me earlier, you won't have to suffer this anymore. As if the devil was whispering, the blood moon cultist named Nai spoke with difficulty. I said, stop it. Phyllis waved, and bright green light flew out of the bodies of the two blood moon cultists. The screams suddenly weakened. There was no time for them to recover, Lin Huan said in a cold tone. Tell me everything you know. Yes, it's like this. Nai told everything, including what is the real purpose of the Blood Moon sect secretly entering the Churong secret realm this time. After listening, Lin Huan's eyes flashed with surprise. I was also surprised why the Blood Moon sect came to this indifferent Churong secret realm. It turns out that there are fire fusion crystals under the giant volcano in the Churong secret realm. Fire crystal is an extremely rare ore that contains a large amount of fire magic power. Can be used in all aspects of card magic. However, the conditions for the birth of fire melting crystal are quite harsh, and this kind of ore can only be born in extremely hot places. So it is very rare. In the Federation, a piece of fire crystal the size of a fingernail is worth 100,000 alliance coins. No wonder, this time, the Blood Moon sect would rather invite a frenzied pursuit from the Alliance than sneak into the Crimson Realm. However, what I didn't expect was that Lu Ziken could be so inhumane that he even sold his own sister to the Blood Moon sect. Looking into the distance, Lin Huan's gaze seemed to penetrate thousands of meters and saw Lu Ziken inside the ancient elf tree. His eyes were full of coldness. Lu Ziken is this beast. Reality B. Not to mention that he loves the well-behaved Lu Sha Sha. Even if he doesn't know Lu Sha Sha, he will not let go of such a pig or dog. I've told you everything I know, can you let me go? Hearing Nai's words, Lin Huan smiled coldly. You want to plot my legendary magic card, and you still want to leave. Phyllis. Just when he was about to order Felice to kill the 2 Blood Moon cultists, the entire Crimson Realm suddenly shook. Thick gray mist pours from steam vents on the giant volcano. Lin Huan frowned and looked at the giant volcano in front of him. Is this a precursor to a volcanic eruption? The Blood Moon sect's plan is about to be launched. In front of everyone's eyes, the giant volcano's crater and lava pillars soared into the sky. The entire Churong secret realm is shaking. The surfaces of other small volcanoes were cracked. Dark red magma flows out of the gullies. The entire Churong secret realm is like this at this time. Nai Hechi, who was kneeling on the ground, stared blankly at this shocking sight. A giant volcano erupted. Could it be that the ceremony was started in advance? Their cheeks, which were originally twitching due to the torture of the elves' magic, gradually showed joy. If the ceremony is completed in advance, other Blood Moon cultists will be free. In this way, they can be saved. When Lin Huan saw this scene, a trace of murderous intent flashed in his eyes. The eruption of a giant volcano means that the ritual of the Blood Moon sect has been completed. Hasn't Lu Sha Sha been sacrificed alive? This plan of the Blood Moon sect requires the use of an extremely powerful epic skill card. But this skill card requires the blood of more than a dozen girls to activate. If the volcano erupts now, wouldn't it mean that Lu Sha Sha is already dead? Thinking of the cute girl with a wreath on her head, Lin Huan couldn't restrain the murderous intention in his heart. He shouted, Phyllis, elf magic, continue. 2 points of light flew out of Felice's hand and sank into the bodies of the 2 Blood Moon cultists in the horrified eyes. The familiar pain struck again, and the 2 of them howled out in agony. They fell to the ground, and the extreme pain in their bodies made them unable to even take out the magic cards. They could only watch in horror as the red magma got closer and closer to them, but there was nothing they could do. Lin Huan, on the other hand, was floating in the air with Felice at this time, watching them being swallowed by the magma with an indifferent expression. He had no mercy in his heart for the cultists who used more than a dozen girls to perform human sacrifices. And Lu Ziken in the ancient tree space. But because of the protection of the ancient elf tree, I didn't feel a single vibration. Lin Huan doesn't let me out because he thinks I'm dragging him down, right? I'm afraid he didn't realize that this was exactly what I wanted. When I thought that I would see Lin Huan kneeling on the ground with his hands holding the magic card when he went out later. Lu Ziken couldn't help but feel proud. Lin Huan, so what if you can defeat a bronze-level monster? Isn't it inevitable to lose against the Blood Moon sect? So what if there are legendary magic cards? You don't know that it was because you drew the legendary magic card that you caused this disaster, right? After you lose, you will understand that the reason why you lost this time is because you thought you had offended me, Lu Ziken. Just as he was thinking this, Lu Ziken suddenly found that his vision suddenly became brighter. He actually came outside. He looked around with joy on his face, but did not see Lin Huan surrendering to the Blood Moon cult. On the contrary, apart from him, there is not even a ghost here. Moreover, the entire Churong secret realm has changed. There are cracks all over the volcanoes of all sizes, and red magma is overflowing from them. And the ground he was standing on was constantly shaking. In the air, visible dust particles floated in the air. Lu Ziken was startled by the sight in front of him. My foot took a step back involuntarily, but I felt a burning heat burning through the sole of my foot. He was scalded by the high temperature. It turned out that he had stepped into magma. When he turned around, he realized that the same scene was happening behind him, with lava flowing out everywhere on the ground. The only place to stay is a giant volcano. However, there is also orange-yellow magma flowing down from the giant volcano. Lu Ziken was jumping anxiously on the spot. There is a wolf in front and a tiger behind. Neither does climbing a giant volcano, nor does not climbing a giant volcano. Seeing that the place where he was standing was about to be engulfed by magma, Lu Ziken gritted his teeth and ran towards the giant volcano. If you were to go slower, you might even be swallowed by the lava all the way to the giant volcano. Seeing the red surface gradually being covered by magma, Lu Ziken felt that his way of survival was also being covered up. He gritted his teeth. No, we can't just sit back and wait for death. It takes time for magma to spread, and you might be able to stay on other volcanoes. As long as you can run from one hilltop to another continuously, you might be able to escape. There is still a place to stay now, but if it is too late, I will have to wait here to die. He summoned the Qingfang wolf. At this time, Qingfang wolf was still injured from the battle with the crimson mud monster and looked in bad shape, but Lu Ziken ignored it. He mounted the Qingfang wolf and pointed forward. Qingfang wolf, rush out. Looking at the several landing sites surrounded by magma, Qingfang wolf raised his feet several times but then retracted. Seeing that there is more and more magma, if I don't run, I won't even be able to reach the next mountain. Lu Ziken slapped Qingfang Lang on the head. Run, dead dog. The subordinates could not disobey their master's orders, so Qingfang Lang had no choice but to rush forward. However, after only running a few steps, he stepped on the wrong foot and fell into the lava. The severe pain made Qingfang Lang stagger suddenly, and he almost fell into the lava. Lu Ziken's scalp exploded directly. If you fall in, you will definitely die. He suddenly stepped on Qingfang Wolf's back and returned to the giant volcano before the lava was submerged in the way he came. Watching Qingfang Wolf being swallowed up by the magma bit by bit, Lu Ziken's face was extremely ugly. Originally, it was impossible for him to run to another volcano before the magma flooded the surface. He could only rely on Qingfang Wolf. However, now Qingfang Wolf fell directly into the magma and had no chance of turning into a magic card. If not, he will die directly. In other words, now his last hope of survival is gone. He kicked away all the rocks he could see. Finally, he stopped panting slightly and watched helplessly as the entire surface of the earth was submerged in magma. The light in his eyes also dimmed little by little. He slumped down on the ground, buried his head between his legs, and grabbed his hair feebly. Now, he felt extremely regretful. He will become the strongest card magician in the future. In the end, he risked his own life just to kill Lin Huan and the legendary magic card. It's really not worth it. It would be great if I could have golden strength now. Lu Ziken murmured. If he had golden strength, he could fly. But he knew that all this was a delusion. How could the black iron magic card master fly? He just slumped on the ground, looking at the magma getting closer and closer to him, without any reaction. They will die anyway, so why struggle? At this moment, he saw in his peripheral vision a figure in the sky, flying towards the giant crater. He looked up sharply, his eyes widening. When he was sure that the person was Lin Huan, his eyes were full of disbelief. How can it be? Lin Huan is obviously a black iron level, but he can fly. Why? He suddenly jumped up, waved to Lin Huan, and shouted loudly. I hope Lin Huan can see him, so that he can get out alive. When he came out of Chirong's secret realm, he stabbed him in the back. In that way, he would have done another great service to the Blood Moon sect. Lin Huan, who was flying towards the crater, noticed him. Stopping and seeing Lu Ziken's helped expression, he just glanced coldly and continued flying towards the crater. Lu Ziken was left stunned and swallowed by the magma. If Lu Ziken hadn't sold his sister, he might have saved him because he was a classmate. But now, it is already advantageous for him to let this beast be burned to death by magma. He continued flying towards the crater. Although the volcano erupted, he still wanted to confirm whether Lu Sha Sha really died like this. In addition, he also coveted the Fire Rong crystal. If there was a chance, he would want to snatch it from the Blood Moon sect. As for whether he could survive the encounter with the Blood Moon sect, he wasn't worried. Before reaching the gold level, the card magician cannot fly on his own. But he can fly, and he also has the Wind Demon Dragon. Unless the Blood Moon sect has a strong platinum man, he can leave if he wants to. The Blood Moon sect could only watch. Since there was no safety problem, he naturally wanted to take a look. If he could grab the fire crystal, he would really make a lot of money. The closer you get to the crater, the worse the environment becomes. Lin Huan used the power of the storm to avoid the falling rocks brought by the volcanic eruption, while also trying to isolate the surrounding toxic volcanic ash. Therefore, his magic power consumes a lot, and photosynthesis can no longer keep up with the consumption rate. When he approached the crater, the magic power in his body was already mostly empty. Just as he was about to enter the crater, several strange birds flew out of the thick volcanic ash. There is a group of people wearing blood moon robes above. Above the strange bird, the group of blood moon cultists saw Lin Huan facing them. They all looked at each other. One of them whispered, "How come there is a strong golden man coming? Is it because the Federation knows about our blood moon sect's plan?" Others' eyelids twitched. Suddenly bumping into a gold-level powerhouse, all the blood moon cultists felt anxious. At this time, a blood moon cultist exclaimed, Isn't he Lin Huan?" "Who is Lin Huan?" The student Chi mentioned drew a legendary magic card during the activation ceremony. "Isn't he a black iron level? Why can he fly? Most importantly, why is he here?" Chi Henai wanted his legendary magic card, so she led him to the Crimson Secret Realm. After hearing the explanation, these blood moon cultists understood what was going on. But soon, everyone looked at each other again. "Wait, where is Naki and Naito?" One of the blood moon cultists stared at Lin Huan and said coldly, "Lin Huan, where is Nai Hechi?" "Those two blood moon cultists. I have already thrown them into the lava and burned them to death." Lin Qian crossed his arms and shook his head. "HMPH, you brat, you still dare to lie to me? You, a black iron, dare to say that you killed two bronze-level magic card masters?" None of the blood moon cultists believed Lin Huan's words. Although they knew that Lin Huan had a legendary magic card in his hand, his own strength was only black iron. Even relying on the power of the legendary magic card, it can surpass the level and kill the bronze-level magic card master. That is definitely a low-star card magician. And both Chi and Nai are 5-star black iron card magicians. Even if there is only one person, Lin Huan is no match, let alone two people ambushing him. What Lin Huan said is absolutely impossible. "Boy, I'm giving you a chance to tell the truth honestly." "That's right, you have to hand over the legendary magic card to me." "What nonsense are you talking to him about? Just arrest him and torture him." "That's right, today's students really don't know how high the sky is and how high they are. They should let us seniors teach them a lesson." Lin Huan, who was not far away, sneered and summoned Felice directly. "Whether what you say is true or not, you will know after the fight. Phyllis, can you feel it and see if there are any blood moon cultists ambushing you around?" The ash mist in the crater is getting thicker and thicker. Visibility was low and this was natural cover. Since battle is inevitable, it is natural to first ascertain the enemy's situation, to avoid being caught off guard when a fight breaks out. "Master, there is no ambush around. However, there is a group of weak life forms inside the volcano. They seem to be ordinary people." Hearing this, Lin Huan's eyes flashed with joy. "There's a few." 18. Lin Huan nodded. 18 ordinary people. This number is consistent with the number mentioned by the two blood moon cultists before. It should be Lu Sha Sha and the others. "Phyllis, time is running out. I will cooperate with you later and use all my strength to kill all their flying subordinates." Yes, although Lin Huan didn't know why the blood moon cult didn't use that epic skill card, the giant volcano still erupted. However, the huge volcano will erupt and the collapse of the Churong Secret Realm is inevitable. After a while, the Churong Secret Realm will be completely destroyed, and the space crack will disappear. If you don't run out before then, you will be trapped here forever with the destruction of Churong's Secret Realm. Unless he has the ability to break through space cracks on his own. But he can't do it yet. Seeing Lin Huan summoning his subordinates, the blood moon cultists knew that Lin Huan was going to resist to the end. "It's so reckless," the leading blood moon cultist sneered. Even if Lin Huan really has the strength to defeat Chi Henai, he wants to fight against them alone. It can only be a daydream. Not to mention that he himself is a silver-level powerhouse, his strength alone is 10 times that of Lin Huan of Black Iron 9 stars. Even without him, the remaining blood moon cultists are all elites in the cult, with a strength of bronze 5 or above. No matter how evil Lin Huan is, no matter how talented he is, there is no way he can deal with them. "Catch him," the leading blood moon cultist shouted coldly. The strange bird under the seat suddenly shot out. Even if it was in the volcanic ash, its speed could not be reduced at all. It's just a blink of an eye. The strange bird was already above Lin Huan's head. The distance of several hundred meters was just one flutter for this strange bird. He raised his slender and sharp claws and grabbed at Lin Huan. The power was so great that there was even a faint sound of breaking through the air. "Don't push too hard," the Blood Moon cultist on the back of the strange bird said plainly. He still had questions for Lin Huan. The claws of this Blood Moon eagle are half a meter long and can easily crack gold and gravel. Without a word of warning, it is impossible to say that Lin Huan was killed directly with this capture. Just when the Blood Moon eagle immediately grabbed Lin Huan, a thin cyan barrier suddenly lit up on his body. It actually bounced the Blood Moon eagle's claw away. Taking this opportunity, Lin Huan's body flashed with green light and he suddenly flew to a place 100 meters away. "Oh, this Lin Huan has some magic cards of high quality." The leading Blood Moon cultist raised his eyebrows when he saw that the Blood Moon eagle failed to catch it. He stood on the Blood Moon eagle, put his hands behind his hands and shouted, "Lin Huan, come over and surrender now, and I will spare your life." "Oh, a group of people can't even touch me, why are you still dreaming there?" Hearing this, the leader of the Blood Moon cult murmured, "I am so proud of myself just because I have a flying skill card. Since young man is immobile, let me teach you a lesson." Blood Moon eagle, no need to hold back. Although he didn't know the quality of Lin Huan's flying skill card, it didn't matter what quality it was. In front of the Blood Moon eagle, it was like a chicken or a dog, breaking into pieces at a touch. The Blood Moon eagle they were sitting on was known as the tiger in the sky. Although it is only a hero-level slave, if it has the same strength, even if it is placed among the epic-level flying slaves, it can fight beyond the level. You can even win by leapfrogging. Just now I just held back. Now that the Blood Moon eagle is using all its strength to catch a black iron level kid, isn't that easy? There were a total of 3 Blood Moon eagles and 2 moon sparrows heading towards Lin Huan and Felice. Just after the meeting, Lin Huan felt the pressure increase greatly. In the beginning, when there was only one Blood Moon eagle, it could still rely on the gift of the storm goddess to survive. When you find an opportunity, join forces with Felice to kill their mounts. But now facing 5 flying slaves at the same time, he was a little overwhelmed. 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. The most important thing is that the aerial environment is completely shrouded in volcanic ash. Various impurities in the air not only hinder his flight speed, but he also uses the power of the storm to separate them. In this way, he will have to bear an extra part of the magic power consumption. But these flight slaves are not used. His current consumption rate of magic power, photosynthesis, can no longer keep up. Phyllis dodged the Blood Moon eagle's blow and flew to his side. "Master, we must find a way to solve this situation. I'm not good at aerial combat, and in the air, my magic power recovers very slowly, which has reached a very dangerous level." Seeing her pretty face that looked slightly tired, Lin Huan knew what she was telling the truth. Phyllis is an elf, not a goblin. What he is best at should be archery and elf magic, not chasing other people's flying slaves in the air. It is impossible to win by using your own shortcomings to attack others' strengths. The Blood Moon cultists also stopped at the same time, and 5 flying subordinates surrounded them. The leader of the cult stood on the Blood Moon eagle, looked at Lin Huan who had run out of oil, and said coldly, "Lin Huan, I will give you one last chance now, otherwise." He didn't say the rest of the words, but the Blood Moon eagle under his feet screamed sharply, revealing its sharp claws. The meaning is self-evident. Although he was surrounded, Lin Cheng's eyes remained calm and he just took out a magic card that he had never used before. Legendary magic card, Wind Demon Dragon. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.